Always choose Frytol. At Wilma, where Frytol is made, each and every worker wakes up with you in mind.
Really?
And for the millions of other homes too. There, the experts ensure every bottle of Frytol is rich with great taste that creates memories to last a lifetime. Frytol is a cholesterol-free oil fortified with vitamin A.
Now I know why you cook with Frytol. Yes, Dad.
Enjoy great tasting meals with Frytol. Frytol. Love your food, love your life. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Very good morning to all of you seated down here. Good morning to everyone. Can I get some response from the house? I'd like you to loosen up. It's a holiday. You all know that. And apart from that, it's our day as women. So I'd like us to loosen up and have a lot of fun and also get inspired this morning. Happy International Women's Day to all women seated out here and everybody listening to us, wherever you are joining us from on Joy 99.7 FM, whether you are joining us online via our handles, we say Happy International Women's Day to all of you. Would like to say that International Women's Day is not limited only to the women in the boardroom, no. So to every woman whose hands have found something doing, we celebrate you today. From the Kayayo to the woman president, we say Ayuko to all of you. Can I hear Ayuko from you? Great. We're very, very, very happy to be here. And this is the 3rd National Women's Summit. I also would like to say congratulations and Ayuko to the convener, Mrs. Theresa Ayoade. She's been doing this for 3 years. Please, let's give it up for her. Offering a platform for women to be gathered and for us to celebrate ourselves and our works. We say Ayiko. Again, I'd like to say, there are some women who are home and taking care of their children. You are not left behind. You are home taking care of that next change maker. And we also say Ayiko to you. Unless, of course, you are a lazy woman. Do we have any lazy woman on earth? There are no lazy women on earth, unless, of course, you are a lazy woman. But because we believe and we know there are no lazy women on earth, we say Ayiko to every woman. This year, we're having our celebrations under the theme, Choose to Change. Choose to challenge, sorry. Choose to challenge. Let's choose to challenge the status quo. Whatever it is that we find ourselves doing. Can you push a bit more? Can you go the extra mile? Can you choose to challenge yourself to be better than you were yesterday? Can you choose to challenge your family life, challenge your community, and even challenge the country and make global challenges? Yes, we can, can't we? Yes, we can. And so let's choose to challenge. And this morning, our celebration is going to be in 2 parts. We're going to have 2 separate conversations. So apart from the global theme, which says choose to challenge, we're also going to have another conversation that says you deserve to be well. It's important that as we make those challenges, we are well. You can't give what you don't have. On Saturday, we had a conversation with some of the panelists we're going to be hearing today. And one person made a very, very, very instructive statement. She says that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you're not well and you're not strong enough, how are you able to challenge the status quo? So as we go on throughout the year, let's remind ourselves as women that it is important that we are well. Can you all say, I deserve to be well? In fact, it's our bona fide property. We deserve to be well. And I'd like to say that this event, the whole National Women's Summit, is sponsored by Frytol. So we say, Frytol, thank you very much for believing in women and for helping us to choose to challenge and telling us that we deserve to be well. Thank you very much. I won't bore you with too much talk. I will come back, introduce the guests to you, introduce a lot more people to you, acknowledge all the important people we have in the house. But right about now, I'd like to invite one more time the convener of the National Women's Summit 2021. She's done this for 3 years. Please help me welcome on stage Mrs. Theresa Ayoade. Give it up for her. And as she comes, this is our stage. Yay. Thank you. Let's go. Exactly. We'd like everybody to loosen up today. It's a holiday and it's our day as women. Women's Day, and I would like to wish all women here present, listening on Joy FM and on our various social media platforms, a wonderful day. The National Women's Summit is Ghana's leading conference for women held in recognition of International Women's Day. As we all know, International Women's Day has been firmly established worldwide as a day set aside to acknowledge and celebrate the progress and achievements of women for us in Ghana. And for us in Ghana, we felt that we needed to join the world in celebration by establishing this event to throw the spotlight on our illustrious women in their various fields of endeavor in order to inspire the next generation with their success stories. And after a very difficult year, as we have all experienced with the COVID-19 pandemic, it is truly a wonderful feeling seeing all of you beautiful ladies gathered here today, as well as on the various digital media covering the event. The third National Women's Summit is actually working with two themes, as Adam mentioned earlier, because they go hand in hand. The first theme of Choose to Challenge is the Global International Women's Day theme, which speaks to women being deliberate about changing the status quo and various stereotypical behaviors we find all around us on a daily basis. When we were approached by Frytol that they had an important message for women, we were very excited because we could relate to the message of You Deserve to Be Well, which is our second theme, because we believe as women, we give of ourselves so much in our various societal roles, and oftentimes at our own expense and detriment. But as women, we need to be well in body, mind, and spirit to continue to excel in our various endeavors. Hence, it's a clarion call for women to take their well-being, to take care of their well-being as they choose to challenge the status quo. Simply put, you need to be well to take a seat at the table. This morning we have here with us highly distinguished bevy of ladies across varied industries to share their stories of how they got here, how they choose to challenge, and most importantly, how they stay well. Our keynote speaker, Madam Angela Chamatin-Jimo, Regional Manager of IBM, Northwest and East Africa, is an extremely hard-working and diligent lady who has risen to the top of her career in the ICT industry across Africa. But I'm sure there's more to come. A round of applause for her, please. Our Choose to Challenge panelists of business leaders are Sheila Azuntaba, CEO of Innovative Finance, who is doing so much to empower women financially, especially in the northern part of Ghana. Round of applause to Sheila. And then we have Linda Ya Ampa, CEO of Cadlin Fashions and Card Garment Manufacturing,
and also the president of the Stanford Seed Network in Ghana. A round of applause to Linda. Linda is empowering women through her factory, as well as boldly pushing Ghana's fashion and textile industry frontiers. And then we have Abena Amwa. She's the Deputy Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, who has had an illustrious career in our capital market and is continuing to give women a strong presence in that space. Abena Amwa. We also have our wellness speakers on the You Deserve to Be Well panel, who will take us on our wellness journey today. We have May Meskawi Kalmoni, CEO of Lotus Detox and Wellness Center. A round of applause for her, please. We have Mavis Asamoah Apieje, a dietitian and CEO of Ghana Canada Nutrition Center and Organic Market. We have Katrina Edusei, a clinical psychologist and mental health counselor. And then we have Diana Edu Asari Dakun, Goma Marketing Manager. A round of applause for all our panelists. These are wonderful ladies I truly admire, who are trailblazers in their industries. And there are many more out there, I believe. Listening and watching. They are the fruits of seeds sown many years ago when Ghana embarked on her gender parity agenda. And today, we see many Ghanaian women rising to the top of their careers as CEOs, board members, top entrepreneurs, politicians, and many more. A quick look at their career path will clearly show a similarity of at least 15 to 25 years of seed sowing and nurturing their careers, and hence, the results. It did not happen overnight. The big question is, so what is next? And where do Ghanaian women see ourselves in the next 25 years? What actions will make us progress? And which will make us regress? How do we sow seeds now so there's a pipeline for the next women leaders? I believe these seeds can be sown through mentoring, sharing ideas, and experiences of the current generation of leaders with the next generation. And that is exactly what the National Women's Summit seeks to do. Before I conclude, I wish to express our sincere gratitude to our sponsors and partners. To Frytol, we are truly inspired by the You Deserve to Be Well message you have for us as women, and making it possible for us to hold this event in such a bold way in these current times. You are truly a woman's partner. To Joy FM, thank you for continuously believing in this event and throwing your full weight behind it, because you believe in women. You have been with us since we started this journey. And to our partners at the Frytol Wellness Pop-Up, Lotus Detox and Wellness Center, and Canada Ghana Nutrition Center, we say thank you for joining us on this wellness journey. A big thank you to the entire Charterhouse team for your continuous hard work on this project as always. Women, we are, wherever we want to get to, let's hold each other's hands and get there together as we rise, pull another woman along. I end this with a quote from myself. Women are built for survival. Trust the process and trust yourself more. So, what do I choose to challenge? I choose to challenge no, because I believe in possibilities. Thank you, and have a wonderful time with us today.
personally be doing a Q&A session. When I go and come back, I will ask you what she said she was choosing to challenge, and probably ask you what you are also choosing to challenge this morning. But one more time, I will keep saying it, Happy International Women's Day to all of us. I am going to be giving us 2 minutes somewhere, I won't tell you, for us to all get up and dance and relax and be happy that God created us women and we're happy to be women. I'd like to say a very big thank you to Frytol for sponsoring this event. Frytol says that a woman's heart, a woman's love can change the world. She is there always in the good and the bad times for her family and loved ones. She puts others first because seeing them well is what matters to her. She is trying to be the superwoman she wants to be, and that can only happen when she is well. On this day, Frytol wishes every woman a happy International Women's Day. And remember that you deserve to be well in order to challenge the status quo. Frytol pure vegetable oil, naturally cholesterol-free. Frytol, love your food, love your life. Frytol, you deserve to be well. The National Women's Summit 2021 is also in partnership with my own Joy FM, your radio for discerning listeners. We are home for independent, fearless, and credible journalism. God bless all women on this day. I'm talking about Joy FM. Just let me use 1 minute to say happy birthday to Mr. Kwesi Chu, our CEO. Today is his birthday, and he believes in women. Kwesi believes in women in leadership. So Kwesi, wherever you are this morning, happy birthday to you. And we say Ayiko for all the good work you're doing. I know I kept you wondering, and maybe you're still wondering, who is this, huge imposing figure? I just wanted you to keep wondering. Until now, my name is Edem Naite. I am Programs Manager, Joy FM. I also host Home Affairs on Joy FM every Saturday morning between 6:15 and 7:30, and I am honored to be your host for today. Next, I'd like to move to our sponsors for today, and I'm inviting on stage Head of Marketing, Wilma, Mrs. Patience Imperum, to give us the sponsors address. Please, Miss Austin, some stand music so she can come in, because today is our day.
Guests present, and all you special people who have joined us virtually. Thank you all for making time for this program. It is a joy to see your beautiful faces beaming with smiles this morning. Wilma Africa is very happy to be associated with this special summit on International Women's Day to celebrate Ghanaian women and also to let them know that Frytol is committed to supporting their well-being as we launch our new campaign, You Deserve to Be Well, in connection with this year's theme, Choose to Challenge. We believe we can only challenge ourselves as women when we are physically and emotionally well. Now, let me tell you a story. Mansa is a working woman, a wife, a mother, and a ministry leader in her church. Every morning, to avoid being in traffic, she wakes up very early at dawn, prays, prepares breakfast for her family, baths and prepares her kids, and drops them off at school before she goes to work. At work, she goes for board meetings, meets different clients at different times, and responds to different calls from different agencies. And by the time she realizes, it's past noon and she hasn't even had breakfast. Meanwhile, she has another meeting coming up in just 10 minutes. She just grabs a drink from her fridge to fill her tummy and rushes into the next meeting. Her meeting ends after 5 p.m. and she drives through the heavy traffic back home. While in traffic, she then remembers she hasn't called her husband all day. Neither has she checked up on her kids to see if the driver has dropped them off at home. She gets home and happy to see her kids and her husband, but she's extremely exhausted and stressed and starts shouting at the least noise her kids make. She feels very hungry, so she grabs something to eat, and shortly afterwards, she dozes off in her chair without walking around a bit for the food to settle. Then she hears a beep on her phone, and it's her boss, asking her whether she has sent through the document for the following morning's presentation. To cut a long story short, it gradually dawns on Mansa that in her daily routine, she actually takes care of everybody except herself. I'm sure most of us can see ourselves in this story. It is clear that in the daily lives of women, whether single ladies, wives, or mothers, women are enduring achievers in pursuit of a better tomorrow, to make the world around us a better place. Every woman has a desire to manage and balance everything from family to profession, from taking care of children, and also to live our lives to the fullest. Oftentimes, we strive to be the superwoman, but some days can be very overwhelming. The lack of time, support, and energy can sometimes throw us off balance. How to balance our family responsibilities with professional work, how to gain some me time when all the social roles need to be fulfilled, how to be confident in ourselves when everyone around us is questioning our choices. The good news is that Frytol, which we all know as cholesterol-free oil and have been using to cook for several years, cherishes and cares about the people we serve, and therefore commenced a journey to provide encouragement and awareness around our well-being and to offer Ghanaian women the support to take care of our well-being. We believe that despite all the challenges and responsibilities Ghanaian women face, we deserve to be well, to be physically healthy and mentally strong, to be there for our families and also pursue the ideal world we believe in. Not only does the brand Frytol have in mind plans and activities to help Ghanaian women sail smoothly through their turbulent lifestyles, Frytol's quality portfolio of products is also designed to enhance the well-being of Ghanaian women and their loved ones. Today, Frytol says you deserve to be well because you can only take care of your family, be successful in your career, and also pursue your dreams as a woman if you are well. Wellness means different things to many people. To one, it means to sleep well. To another, it means to have a me time every week. To someone else, it means eating healthy. Someone said wellness to her is being able to take off her wig hair for her scalp to receive fresh air without anybody judging her. Somebody also said for her, it's about eating all the ice cream and the cake she wants to eat without growing fat. At this point, I want to pose the question, what does wellness mean to you? I encourage each and every one of us to define what wellness personally means to us and make it a key priority in our lives, because it's only when we are well that we can be there for our families, work, and ministry. This is the only beginning of a long road, as Frytol is committed to drum home the agenda that every woman, including you, deserve to be well. Look into the eyes of the woman sitting by you and tell her that Frytol says you deserve to be well. Enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you.
When I open Frytol sunflower, nature comes to life. When I cook with Frytol sunflower, family comes to life. Nature is to you in every drop, drunkenness in every bite.
give to you in every drawer.
Feels great to have a hearty, healthy family. Frytol sunflower cooking oil. Also cholesterol-free for tasty, healthy meals. Love your food, love your life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
And Frytol says you deserve to be well. If you're just joining us, we're live on Joy 99.7 FM. This is the 3rd Women's Summit, and we're celebrating International Women's Day. Under the theme, Choose to Challenge. And we're celebrating under another theme that also says you deserve to be well. This event is convened by Mrs. Theresa Ayoade, powered by Charterhouse, sponsored by Frytol, and partnered by Joy 99.7 FM. In a few minutes, we will be taking the keynote address from Angela Chematin Jimo. Angela currently serves as the Regional General Manager for IBM North, East, and West Africa, leading a team of executives and ensuring IBM's growth across 35 countries. She is a recipient of the U.S. African Women Forum Global Impact Leadership Award, African Achievers Awards for Excellence in Business, and ranked among Africa's top 100 most influential women of Avans Media, as well as several global leadership honors. Angela has over 20 years of experience in sales and marketing across the financial services and technology industry, an alumna of the Harvard Business School. She is recognized as a thought leader and as an avid mentor for women in the corporate sector. Please, let's be on our feet. DJ Austin, music. We want to shake our hands. Angela, I want the world to know, got to let it show. Come on. I'm coming up. That's it. I want the world to know, got to let it show. You're not shaking yourself, you're losing now.
There's new me coming out,
beautiful.
And I just have to live.
Thank you,
and I want to give. I'm completely positive. I think this time around I am gonna do it like you.
Wow, Adam, you got me to dance. That's such an achievement. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all our listeners across Ghana, happy International Women's Day. Today is International Women's Day, and the theme for this year is Choose to Challenge. I love this theme. You know why? Because a challenged world is an alert world, and out of a challenge comes change. So today, I would like to ask, what do you choose to challenge? What do you choose to challenge? I'm going to tell you what I choose to challenge, but before I do that, I want to share a very personal story with you, which will put into context why I choose to challenge what I choose to challenge. I call it my testimony, and you may call it a story. So back in 2019, I think very early part of 2019, I'd been the country general manager of IBM for a while, I think 4 years. I took some clients. For the benefit of those who don't know what IBM is one of the world's leading technology companies. We operate across all the continents. Over 90% of the financial institutions run on IBM systems, and we employ over 300,000 people worldwide. So we do have an outfit in Ghana, and I was responsible for the outfit in Ghana until 2019. So early part of 2019, I took some clients for a meeting in the US, to our headquarters from Ghana. And I remember it so well. Right after the meeting, I met up with my girlfriend, Maureen, for dinner. And I remember during dinner, Maureen turned around and asked me, "You look tired. You've done this role for 4 years. What is next for you?" And I remember saying to Maureen, "I'm going to share with you what my dream is. And please indulge me." So I told Maureen that for my next move, I would love to become the chief of staff for one of the most powerful men, if not the most powerful man in IBM. And I remember saying this, and Maureen almost choked on her drink. Actually, I almost choked on my drink as well when I said that. Because let me just paint a picture for you what a chief of staff does. So when you're a chief of staff in IBM, for one of the senior vice presidents, you get to sit at the feet of these very, very seasoned business leaders and learn from them. You sit in their meetings. And the fun part, you get to fly on the corporate jet. When you're flying from headquarters to New York City, you don't do traffic. No. Come on, why? A chopper will carry you from headquarters straight to the city. In like 10, 15 minutes, you're there. When you're traveling, you don't do commercial. No, private jet. So, there I was, an ordinary black girl from a remote country somewhere in Africa, sitting and dreaming to becoming the first African to become the chief of staff to one of the most powerful men in IBM. Maureen laughed and she said, girlfriend, let me break it down to you. Your accent is even wrong. When you speak, they might not even hear what you're saying. I said to her, don't worry, I'll go to my desk and send them an email. I'm sure they can read. And she was like, do you know how many people will kill for this role? This is like one of the most enviable roles in IBM. And you, an ordinary you think you can become the chief of staff. Okay, you're on your own. So I laughed, and I was dead serious about this dream, by the way. And little did I know that it was from my ears from my mouth to God's ears. Can I just say that again? Little did I know that that dream was from my mouth to God's ears. That was early 2019. Fast forward 2 months after that fateful evening, I am in Bangkok with IBM, and I'd just been inducted into the Club 100 team. Or every year we take the top performers in IBM, and they take us to a different location to celebrate our achievements. And that particular year, I had made it into the Club the 100% Club. So at about 12 midnight, I was tired. Everyone who knows me will tell you that I don't joke with my sleep. So 12 midnight, I went to my room. I got into my bed. I got a call from my manager at that time, and he said, Angela, you need to wake up. I have some fantastic news for you. And I couldn't wait till the morning to tell you. And I was thinking, this better be good, because I'm so sleepy and so tired. My manager said to me, you have been shortlisted to interview for the role of Chief of Staff for Mr. XXX, the exact person I wanted to be Chief of Staff to. At that point, all the sleep disappeared. I sat up and I said, can you just say that again? And he said, you heard me. But oh, don't worry if you don't get it. You know, this is such a coveted role in IBM, and everybody wants it, and they are bringing the best to interview for the role. So don't worry if you don't get it. He was telling me, you're just there, you won't get it, so just prepare yourself. And I remember saying to him, if my name is on that list, I will get that role. Why? You know why? Because I had dreamt it. I'd seen myself, I'd already internalized being the chief of staff, being an ordinary African girl, but doing extraordinary things. I had seen myself, I didn't need time to internalize it because I dreamt it. I'd seen myself do it. So it was just a matter of me going there and just claiming it, convincing the guy that I was the right candidate for the role. So I got up, started praising God. I just clapped danced in my room, and just praised God because I knew I had gotten the job. Within 24 hours, 5-6 people had interviewed me for the role. Jumped on the plane from Bangkok, 14 hours, got to Ghana. 9 p.m. Ghana time, my interview with Mr. X. I was shaking like a leaf. Bad. I told myself, you got this, girl. You have dreamt it. You've seen yourself. Just go in there and do your thing. Turn on my camera. After an hour's interview with Mr. X, I gathered the courage and I asked him, so sir, what is next? And I was expecting him to say, someone else is going to interview you. I'm going to see other people. Do you know what he said? He said, Angela, the job is yours. I'm waiting for you to become my chief of staff. When can you move to the US? So, on the 22nd of July, I got a one-way ticket to the US, and that is how I ended up as the first African to be the chief of staff to Mr. X, one of the most powerful men in IBM. Today is International Women's Day, and on this day, what happens? We come together to celebrate ordinary women doing extraordinary things. We also take stock of where we've come from and the road ahead of us. UN Women have declared 2030 as the year we achieve gender equality. What is gender equality? Gender equality means that little girl in that little village in India will have the same access to education, to healthcare, as her male counterpart. Gender equality means women will have enough seats, same number of seats in the boardroom as women. Gender equality means women in the workplace will have access to promotion, to compensation, just like their male counterpart. Gender equality doesn't mean women are better than men. No. Gender equality means women are equal to men. So why is it important for us to achieve gender equality? Is it just a nice to have? No. Women make up over 60% of the world, well, over 50% of the world's population and productivity. Women make up over 50% of the world population and productivity. So it's not just practical, nor just for our voices not to be heard at places where decisions are being made. According to a McKinsey study a report titled Gender Parity, it talks about if women are to participate identically in the economy as men, by 2025, in 4 years, we would increase global GDP by 26%. Did you get that? 26%. So what are we waiting for? Why are we not accelerating this agenda? So today, to help us accelerate this agenda, I choose to challenge women across the globe to dream big, have the audacity to dream big. Because it's only when you dream big that you can internalize your success. It's only when you dream big that you have a goal. And when you have a goal, you will work towards it. So having a dream is not just enough. You need to have the wow factor as a woman. And what is the wow factor? It's a mantra that I've lived with. And today I want to share that with you. So you dream big. And then what happens? Wow factor, W-O-W. The first W is work hard, work smart, be diligent, be persistent, relentlessly reinvent yourself. And with that, backed by your dreams, you will succeed. The O is for opportunities. you know what? Because I had internalized it, because I'd seen myself as this ordinary African girl hopping off and on IBM's private jet, guess what? When the opportunity presented itself, I took it. I went after it with everything that I have. And sometimes the opportunities may not even be there, but what do? You create those opportunities. The last letter, W, is wellness. And I was so thrilled when Theresa told me that this summit is going to look at what we choose to challenge plus wellness. Wellness is very important. The pandemic has taken its toll on many of us. It's challenged us mentally, physically, and it's important that we take our wellness very, very seriously. And I love what Adam said earlier on. She interviewed the panelists on Saturday, and they said something like, you can't pour from an empty vase. Okay, so we deserve to be well as women. So today on International Women's Day, I challenge you, women, to dream big. Because if you don't dream big, and even if you are given a seat at the table, guess what? You will make excuses why you don't belong there. But if you've internalized it, if you've dreamt it, guess what? You will walk in with confidence and take that seat. Remember, a girl with a dream becomes a woman with a vision. And a woman with a vision, backed by the wow factor, is simply unstoppable. So what are we waiting for? Let's be unstoppable. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the summit.
Hi, beautiful women. Happy International Women's Day. Ooh. Superwoman. Hey. Nothing seems complete. I stand up and I'm searching for the better part of me. I hang my head in sorrow, state of humanity. I bear it on my shoulders. Gotta find strength in me, 'cause I am a superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, she is. Even when I'm a mess, I still put on a dress with a nest on my chest. Oh, yes, I'm superwoman. Yes, I am. To all the mothers fighting better days to come, and all the women sitting here trying to come home before the sun, and all my sisters join it together. Say yes, I will. Yes, I am. Yes, I will. I am a superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, you are. You are a superwoman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Sing with me. Say, I loud, am loud. We are superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am super. I am superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Say, I am a superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Seriously, is that all we can do to agree that we're superwoman? Oh, we can do it better. We're superwoman. One more time, this is the National Women's Summit, the 3rd edition. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM and across a number of social media handles I will be sharing with you. So you want to see what's happening here, you can go on our social media handles and then you will see them. But quickly, we are moving on to our panel discussion. And Ms. Austin, I'd like you to stand by. Like we said, today is a very relaxed day. So after I introduce my guest, they will come on stage dancing very well and come and sit down. We're celebrating womanhood. And this session, we're going to be having a conversation on Choose to Challenge. My first guest, Sheila Azuntaba, founder and CEO of Innovative Finance. Sheila has worked with Ecobank Ghana and Citibank Kenya, where she rose to senior investment banker managing a 25 million USD portfolio and part of a 74 million USD revenue team. Prior to setting up her business, Sheila was an assistant vice president of Citigroup's Global Transaction Services unit in Nigeria. A former Miss Ghana 1996, Sheila is passionate about empowering the less fortunate and financially excluded, especially women, which led to the establishment of her Innovative Finance. Sheila has an MBA in finance from the Strathclyde Business in Business School and BA Hunter in Marketing from the University of Westminster, London. Please give it up for Sheila and Miss Austin. Yeah, welcome her on stage nicely. That's it. She is in the spirit of celebrating womanhood. Thank you very much.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you come home. Just a little bit, hey, baby, just a little bit. Just a little bit, mister, just a little bit.
Thank you. Now I see us gingered up. Next, I have Linda Ya Ampa. She is founder and CEO of Cadlin Fashions and Cad Manufacturing Limited, a fashion house and garments manufacturing company, respectively. Linda's heart for empowering women led her to develop not just a garment manufacturing factory and fashion line, but one that provides jobs, teaches both sewing and life skills, and builds confidence in vulnerable and unemployed women. Cad Manufacturing produces garments and PPE products for both the local and export market. She is the president of the Stamford Seed Network Ghana chapter and vice president of the Association of Garment and Apparel Manufacturers of Ghana. Please welcome Linda Ya Ampa. Miss Austin. When you get female executive director of the Ghana Stock Exchange since its founding 30 years ago. She is a trailblazer in the capital markets and industry and has led several landmark transactions in the past 23 years. She has served on boards of institutions such as Access Bank PLC, African Women's Development Fund, Ghana Stock Exchange, Ghana Petroleum Funds, Cosmos Energy Ghana, University of Ghana Council, among others. She has been an advisor to West African financial sector policy makers and regulators on the deepening of financial markets and is highly respected in her industry for outstanding professionalism and integrity. She is passionate about youth development and empowerment and has mentored several persons who have progressed on to take up significant leadership roles themselves. Please give it up for Abena Amwa.
Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Girls, who run the world? 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 Girls, who run this mother?
All right, thank you very much. So we are getting on to this session now. We're going to be very interactive, and we have some activity also coming up for you who is watching us via social media. You have to listen very well because we're going to be asking questions and we have the online team monitoring. So when we ask the question and then yours happen to come in first and it is the right answer, we reward you. So stay tuned in and listen into the conversations we have. Thank you.
In the club, rocking the ladies. Who will buy it for themselves and get more money later? I think I need a barber. None of these can fight me. I'm so good with this. I remind you, I'm so good with this. Boy, I'm just saying.
After this, we will have a lot more time to jam. But good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning.
It's an honor to have all of you seated with me here this morning.
Likewise.
I feel like a real superwoman right now. Let me take my mask off. I think we're socially distanced enough. Thank you. So I'd like to start with you, Linda. What led you into fashion to start with? Real quick, we don't have a lot of time, but I'd like to know what led you into fashion. And I have known you for a very long time. You don't know, I'll tell you behind the scenes.
All right, thank you, and happy International Women's Day to everybody. I set out to be exactly what I'm doing today because I grew up in a home doing that. So I didn't know any other thing. I never wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer or anybody. I just wanted to make people happy by dressing them and making them look good. So she happened to be one of my first clients as Miss Ghana. So yes, I set out to do fashion. Not to do mass production, but to set out to do fashion.
So that has been. If I should put it, that has been a childhood dream.
It has been. It has been.
Okay. Now I'd like to know how just wanting to do fashion and maybe clothe some niche people developed and the status quo you have to challenge, the stereotypes you will have to face and keep challenging to get to the point of actually setting up a whole garments manufacturing company.
Well, for me, when I started fashion and I started clothing people, I got a lot of interest. Then I started getting orders for a few quantities which I could not produce. And so I started doing it outside of Ghana. I started doing production in Asia. And that's when I saw that people were doing it. You had small factories, huge factories, middle-sized factories. And I saw that a lot of the people sitting behind the machines were women. You know, so after a few runs there, I decided, what if this can happen out there? Why can't I do it in my own country? There are people just like these people sitting behind the machines who can do exactly what they're doing. So that's how I set out to do mass production. It has not been easy because you employ people who maybe from the culture they belong to, they have difficulty in even taking instructions from women. So that was a big challenge. You give instructions and behind you they are giving their own instructions and having difficulty. Once the business begins to grow, you're going to people's offices looking for big orders, and you go and see a managing director, some big man out there, and wondering, really, how about a weekend in Akosombo, then we can talk about business. You know, so these are some of the challenges we have faced as women, but hey, it is possible to do it.
So what has spurred you on?
What has spurred me on has always been the smiles on the faces of the women that I work with. That has always spurred me on. There are times when you feel like just throwing in a towel, you're tired, you're frustrated, you're just ready to give up. But you see the faces behind your machines. You see these women who, without where they're sitting right now, will not be able to feed their families. That kept me going and still keeps me going. The sound of machines, the joy on the faces of the people when you pay them at the end of the month, that has kept me going.
Great. Thank you very much. And I'm sure that we have picked one or two things. She didn't talk about the money, that, oh, I was making good money, for which reason I felt like I have to keep going. But then the value of seeing that people are excited about what she was giving them is what has spurred her on. Thank you. I will move on to you, Sheila, now. Still looking beautiful. Miss Ghana 1996. Whoa. Now, you have also, gone through corporate life and all of those, and then now you have a foundation and you're actually investing a lot of money into young people, women in the North. And I know you're doing a lot. So, for all those jobs that were giving you all the big money, what actually made you decide that I want to toe this line?
Thank you. And happy International Women's Day to everybody. What led me to start Innovative? What I'll tell you is Innovative Microfinance. It is a microfinance.
Yeah.
And fortunately, and also unfortunately, it's not a foundation. It's regulated by the Central Bank of Ghana.
Okay, great.
It's one of the few microfinance companies that made it and wasn't closed down. But what made me start...
I like the sound of that. Yes, we can applaud to that. Yes.
What made me start Innovative were two things. Innovative Microfinance was actually the project work for my MBA that got me MBA Student of the Year. So when I came back home from Citigroup, and two things, I just become a new mother and I wanted to take time off with my son. I thought of one thing. I remember I told my professor then that if this project got me MBA Student of the Year, one day I'm going to make this a reality. I don't know how, but I would make this a reality. But I still needed to get that structure from the corporate world. So going back to work was just to give me that structure. And coming back home as a mother and looking at what to do rather than going into the corporate world, it actually was a no-brainer to take my project. Because it got me an MBA Student of the Year. Of course, there must have been something in it.
That's right.
And there were two things. I was able to advance a social cause that was very close to my heart, and then also to create a solution which brought about the banker in me. I went out there, looked for a need, created a solution for these women who wished they had it and didn't have it at that time. So these two things kind of pushed me on to give it a try. And it's been, 10 years, going on 11 years, and we haven't looked back since.
How has it been?
It's been interesting, challenging, really challenging. We have lost and fallen so many times. We've lost money. We've almost gotten to the stage of closing down. But each day you go into a community and you see what you're able to do in a community with women. It actually gives you that purpose that, okay, there is something we're doing. We're creating a change. Innovative has over 45,000 women in our portfolio, and over 90% are women. And that was intentional from the beginning. It was intentional, and it remains the same way. For us, serving women gave us that satisfaction and also seeing the impact. Because one thing about women is you never lose when you invest in a woman. You never lose. You may lose money, but it's just the season. You never lose. And that kept us going, and I've always enjoyed it. But there have been challenges. And they've just been interesting challenges. I call them interesting challenges because we learn from them every day.
Great. 2 more things I'd like you to tell me. So you saw a need and went into it to support that need. First of all, I'd like to find out, which one do we do first? I'd like you to break down the challenges. We can talk about a few of them. And then also specifically tell us the impact that you're making in the lives of these women who are beneficiaries to what you're doing for them. Would like to have very practical examples of some of these.
I knew you asked about the challenges. You know, most of us, especially women who branch out to start our own businesses, and even women in the corporate world, one thing we mature through are these gender rules and stereotypes that kind of, entrench themselves in us, and they have this profound impact on how we navigate our lives, how we socialize, how we interact, what we do with our lives. So when you find yourself in that situation, there are definitely going to be challenges, and especially when you're a woman. I had my challenges mapped out for me right from the get-go. One of them was the fact that when you're a beauty queen, you have 2 things, and there's always a clear balance in the middle line. You've got 50% who know that you probably bring something to the table, and the 50% who have their assumptions about what it is that you have that you can do. So you've got to fight that, and that also is one challenge. But the good thing about that challenge is that it gives you a platform and it gives you a voice. It is what you do with that voice that would help you turn the minds of everyone who thinks this is something she can't do. Also, when you go into microfinancing, mostly it's a man's world. You know, you want to go into financing where you're looking to raise funds. But I think what I said earlier on, that I was an intentional reason to work with women. That is what made my microfinance totally different. I looked at women as my #1 reason. And I didn't go into it wanting to fight the men for their position. I just wanted to run it as a woman for women and by women. And that alone was enough. So it wasn't that much of a challenge. And of course, everybody going into their own business, you let go of the cushioning of the corporate world. You know, you let go of that paycheck that is so ready for you at the end of the month.
And that's scary for a lot of
To be
people.
the provider of paychecks for other people, that is scary. So you're going to have to go through all of that. Look to raise funding. And raising funding or capital in this country, I don't know about Teresa, but I'm sure, Linda, I'm sure you will bear with me. But it is very difficult. And I'm sure it may not be as difficult as for the opposite sex, but that was one challenge for us. For people to really realize that you needed to get to a stage where you had to be intentional in investing in the growth of women. And it didn't mean you needed to give them money. The growth of a woman starts from ensuring that she has the right education. She's well informed. You know, she knows exactly what she's getting herself into, what product she's borrowing. She knows that she needs money, she needs capital. All these are things that you have to be intentional about. And all of these things are things that for women, it has to take a woman to think that far. So there are challenges and also opportunities. There are doors that open for you immediately, you're a woman. But then for you to keep those doors open and keep other doors open for you, you need to show them that you're bringing to the table just as much as your other male counterpart is bringing to the table. The challenges go on and on and on. And even our own biases, you know, our own personal biases, we need to keep questioning them amongst ourselves. You know, sometimes we have to give that opportunity to other women as well and to support them. The challenges are there, but I don't see them as challenges at all. They're just detours.
Great. And how would you say practically some of these women have been impacted?
I come from the north, so that's a positive bias. It was actually, it was easy for me to go back and work in the north.
You speak the language?
I speak the language. I
Beautiful.
was born and bred there. I still have my childhood friends. And I spent time in the north working on my project. So I had the knowledge. I understood what they needed, and I knew exactly the solution to provide. So it was easier for me. So for me, the first thing was to gain that knowledge. And once I had that, it was then easy for me to just go all out. The impact is unbelievable. You know, women, we are just phenomenal. What a woman can do with as little as 500 cedis, you will be amazed. And I've seen what women have done with 500 cedis and are doing with 50,000 cedis. These are women who would grow. They would accept and agree to learn and grow from borrowing 500 cedis to 50,000 cedis. Wow. And you will see the number of children they will put to schools, the food on the table. Women are community leaders. If you want change, put women at the table, and you will achieve that change in the shortest possible time.
That's very true. That's very true, because, I mean, I said somewhere that women are transformational leaders. If you have a woman in that position, what you get is not just them contributing to the bottom line, but you get a lot of bonuses as well, because we end up serving as coaches, we end up serving as mentors, you know, to our teams. So congratulations to you. Doing a good job. We pray you continue to do a lot more for the women in the North and also for women across the globe. Great. I will move on to Abner now. Stock markets, stock exchange, capital markets and all that. Listening to Angela and then also listening to Sheila and Linda, it is seeming as though, okay, it's not such a hard field after all, you know, but I still think that it takes so much to get to that level. Generally, how would you say women are doing in the capital market? Are women venturing hard enough?
First, happy International Women's Day to everyone, all the women out there, and of course to all the men sponsoring and pushing and supporting women. And to my beautiful panelists, happy Women's Day. Thank you very much, Adam. The journey for me to the Ghana capital markets was actually an accident. My own background was one of a very simplified view of the world, nurtured in me by my family. I was raised by mothers, and I say mothers because in my family, I wasn't just the child of my biological mother. I had mothers, my father's brothers, my father's sisters, my mother's sisters, all were part of raising me up. My grandmothers were all part of raising me up. And in my upbringing, there was no difference between a man and a woman, or a boy and a girl. My family raised us equally, and we did all the same chores. We had the same challenges, and I had the fortune of going to primary and secondary schools, both of which were run by Catholic nuns, St. Teresa's and St. Rose's Secondary School. And at St. Rose's Secondary School, there was never a thinking that I was a girl and therefore I should only do X duties. As girls at St. Rose's, we built classroom blocks. I know how to mix mortar. We changed light bulbs. All the things I was doing at home were the things I did at school. Post-school, I had the opportunity to go on AFS to a country in the world that even back then was considered in 1989 and 1990 as a very forward country, Iceland, which is ranked everywhere in the world as one of the top places for gender equality. In fact, when I was in Iceland, the Prime Minister of Iceland, Vigdis Finnbogadóttir, came out and sought me out, and we had a chat for like an hour, and it was just totally normal. Then I leave the upbringing I've been given, and I go to university. And I entered into the School of Admin, or today the Ghana Business School, the University of Ghana Business School. And there were 120 students in the class, 100 males, 20 females. Of the 20 females, 6 of them came from St. Rose's Secondary School. And for the first time in my life, I was beginning to feel the effects of being different only because of my gender, having different capacities and capabilities only because of my gender. First, the students went and formed study groups, And I'd be there and I'd get a note from a guy that said, oh, you're a girl, you won't be good in accounting, so come let us tutor you. And it really, disturbed me. Or we'll have a tutor who would tell us that, oh, the girls need to pair up with the guys for this subject because girls don't do well. And I'd never really, before that in my life, heard anything like that. And it actually infuriated me. Because one thing everyone knows in my family is that you don't tell me that you can't do something. Just because they said I can't do something, I reached out to my girlfriends and I said, let's form our own study groups and show these guys how it's done. The first exams came, top 3 were all women, in accounting, in business maths, and in law where they thought only girls could do well. It was the same there. The guys started sitting up. And before then, I'd been the type of student who was, I'm happier reading my storybooks than studying. But finally in university, because I was being challenged for nothing other than my sex, I took studying more seriously. And I pushed myself. And I had a bigger dream to show people that anything that I set myself up to, as an individual, regardless of my gender, I will accomplish that. And I graduated as the top of my class at the University of Ghana. It was our 50th anniversary. I swept every single award that was there, and it wasn't like that before then. But that is the importance of a challenge, and that is what I chose to challenge back then, and to set the example that gender has nothing to do with it, but the personal will and working at something. So I stumbled into investment banking because I actually thought I wanted to be a lawyer. And I stumbled into investment banking. And the other thing about being female, it's not, you don't just get discriminated against as a woman, you get discriminated against by your age. So here you are, you're a young girl, you've broken out into this industry, and you showed up at the meeting, you've done the work, it's time to present it to the client, and you're there and they're like, where is the boss? You're a woman, you're young, what are you doing in this room? They're looking behind you. Sometimes I go to meetings, I go with my team, all of whom were junior. There'll be a couple of guys and there'll be me. Hello, boss. And I'm there, and of course, no one's looking at me. And it was another challenge. I had to, you almost have to present yourself in ways bigger than you would normally even be. You're skinny, you're young, you're a woman, you don't look like a boss. You are not a boss. And so I had to challenge the idea of what and who a boss is. When I joined the first company I did, of course there were people senior me. This is your role, you sit here. No, I'm here to work and I'm here to contribute, and I speak up. So it's been an ongoing journey, and in fact, one of the companies it's a big brewery company here. During my national service, I led a team that raised $20 million for them. The boss, who was South African at the time, when we were done with the transaction, could not believe I was doing my national service, could not believe I had led the team, but it took a lot out of me. There were times my parents had to come to my office to, in fact, check whether I was still working there. I got into the office at 6 a.m., and as at 6 a.m. the following day, I was still in the office working away. I essentially had no life, just to prove the point that I could deliver. which comes to the point of emptying yourself as a woman and the need to go back, take time out, and take care of yourself. So I think that the role of women in capital markets is developing.
Great.
When we take the Ghana Stock Exchange, for instance, at the GSE today on our executive committee, the ratio is 50-50, men and women. On the management team, at the management team, it's 55% women and 45% men.
Wow.
And on our board, we've been very deliberate about it. We have 33% of our council or our board being female, and we are working to do better at it. In terms of attracting more females into the industry, there's still so much work that needs to be done. And our aim, and you'll hear from us soon, is to start the investment education at the very, very young age. To go into the primary schools, to go into the secondary schools, to go to the tertiary institutions and start the education of financial empowerment, of investments, of how to raise capital using the stock market. Next level we want to work with is how we work with our listed companies to improve the ratio of women on their boards. And for that, we have been partnering with various institutions such as the Boardroom Africa, which has done a phenomenal study across Africa, where Ghana, again, normally we are the leaders, and again, last year's study showed Ghana was doing great relative to other countries in Africa, and indeed all of Europe and all of Asia. And yet we are not sitting on our laurels. So there's still a lot of work we are doing to improve the gender ratio in the boardrooms. Thank you.
Thank you. I will, great. I'm asking the question, but I will come back to you shortly for the answer to find out, are women themselves venturing into the capital market? Do women see it as a place for them? I'll come back to you for the answer. But for those of you who are joining us online, we have this competition for you so that you're totally a part of what we're doing here. So I'd like you to listen to the questions. The questions will be posted online as well. Answer them, and we have wonderful prizes for you. Question 1, name 2 sponsors for this year's Women's Summit. We have the possible answers as Frytol, Lotus, YFM, Joy FM, Charterhouse. So name 2 of them. What is the global theme for International Women's Day? What is Frytol's new campaign theme? And name the brand colors of Frytol. What does wellness mean to you? That's your own answer. So that is a bonus question, actually. Name 2 speakers for Choose to Challenge panel discussion. Also, name 2 speakers for You Deserve to Be Well panel discussion. And then mention 2 components of wellness. What does You Deserve to Be Well mean to you? Again, it's very important. What date marks International Women's Day? And so, please get online and start answering the questions. We're streaming live on Charterhouse Live on YouTube, Charterhouse on Facebook, also on Frytol Pure Vegetable Oil on Facebook. We're also streaming live on Charterhouse Live on YouTube and Facebook. We're also streaming live on at Joy 997. We're live on Joy FM as well. We will, after Abena answers her question, we will now come to you for your questions. So we're entering into the Q&A questions. There are microphones amongst you, so get ready. You can just lift your hand up. The microphone will be brought to you. If you're shy and you want to write your question, you also have the opportunity to do that so that we can answer your questions. Yes, Abena, back to you.
Thank you very much, Adam. The Ghana Stock Exchange is the angle or the end of the capital market that seeks to create and nurture the 100-year-old company. Let's think about that very carefully. It wants to create, retain, and grow companies that will survive the founder, and the founder's children, and the founder's great children. So that is what the Ghana Stock Exchange is there for. When Angela talked about not just dreaming, but dreaming big, audacious, and thinking of your company as one of those that can be listed, as we've seen on another media, that does the short thing on the 100-year-old company. That is where I think women in Ghana need to start in how they prepare their companies for the Ghana Stock Exchange. The Ghana Stock Exchange means that as a woman who's a business owner, you need to corporatize that business. You need to move that business away from, it's a hobby I'm doing, it's a second thing I'm doing to earn some income, to the level of a significant leap of faith. You jump and put your all into it, knowing that you'll put in the right systems, the right governance practices, you will hire the right people, you will define your dream very clearly, and you are ready for partnerships. Because partnerships means that you are opening up your company to receive other securities holders. They can be shareholders with you in the business, or they can give you long-term capital through bonds. But they are your partners, and partnership requires accountability. So companies that come to the Ghana Stock Exchange should be structured to start with, and as they prove themselves, they raise capital to do phase one of their expansion dreams. They go to phase 2, phase 3, and the company survives its founder and gets nominated and gets listed as one of those long-term businesses that don't just serve, dare say, Ghana, but all of Africa. Our stock exchange has had some successes with women. We've had companies like Mrs. Villas's Camelot that listed, Samba, also founded and started by a Ghanaian woman. And they are learning these tools of the trade. As you come and you prove yourself, you raise higher and higher and higher amounts of capital. You'll engage your shareholders or your securities holders at annual general meetings, etc. You have a diversified management team that are independent and well rewarded. Sure. So there is a long way for us to go. And what we are doing is starting partnerships with organizations that can help us achieve this. One of our partners is AGI. Another I've been talking to Emmanuel is Stanford Seed, who we hope later in the year we will be launching an MOU to partner with some of the groups under Stanford Seed to start the work that Stanford Seed has done with women business leaders and take them to the next level where they are actually raising capital and being accountable to their partners, the shareholders who have given them that money. So it's a journey we are on.
We're on a journey, but you will have to dream big and then follow through the process. And if along the line, I'm sure you will all agree that you need mentors or we need people to advise us. All of these women who have taken the lead are there. So don't be shy. Approach and ask for guidance, and we will surely get there. Now, if you have a question, please walk up to the microphone and ask your question. And we should be wrapping up the session in 15 minutes. So walk up to the microphone and ask your questions now. But I want to find out from all of us, quickly, do we think that, two in one, so do we think that gradually we are attaining the parity we have all been looking for, I mean, in various aspects, especially so as related to your fields of endeavor? Gradually, are women getting there? Is it becoming easier for women to challenge the status quo, looking at your fields of endeavor? And then also we'll take your pledge. What do you choose to challenge? Let me start with you, Linda. But I think fashion has primarily been a woman's industry, right?
Yes, fashion has been, but mass production hasn't. But even that, in our part of the world, is the fashion ladies who are growing and asserting themselves in that area as well. So even there, we are making our names heard.
Great.
To give an example, last year when COVID hit, the 5 main companies that were called to produce PPEs for the country were all owned by women.
Yay.
China was shut, America was shut, India was shut.
Great.
We had to look within our own to be able to meet the demand. And it was 5 companies, all women owned, that rose to the occasion.
Beautiful. And what do you choose to challenge?
I choose to challenge that I'll be deliberate in mentoring women. I also want to challenge other women who are raising men, that it is the same men we are raising who discriminate against us. So we also should be deliberate about raising men who would respect women, who would give women an opportunity, who would take women for what they can do and not because their sex is female.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, my dear, please get to the microphone, mention your name and ask your question. Okay, you're getting help now. Okay, while that is sorted out, let me come to you, Sheila.
This is for us in terms of women.
I mean, is it becoming easier for
us.
women? Yes.
I wouldn't say it's becoming easier. I think
But we still have a long way to go.
we do have some. And with us or our generation, we have a lot of women that we are getting to look up to and who are trailblazing. Angela, Linda, and Abena here. So a lot of the younger women have all these women to use as example and to emulate. But it still doesn't make it easier if you don't do what you need to do to be able to get yourself out there. Women, you can't just get to the table by being a woman. A lot of the times, what you have to do is be intentional. You have to outdo yourself in almost every area of your life to get to that table. And you have to be deliberate. Learn, and get yourself to a point where when you get there and you're dreaming big, you have what it takes to maintain that dream. Because it's okay to dream big. It is okay, and as Angela said, it's okay to be audacious. But are you prepared internally to even assume that role when you're given the opportunity?
Great.
So it takes you to do that. So as women, yes, it's getting easier. We've got oodles and oodles of women out there that we can look up to, and they're trailblazing, they're doing so much. Our mothers, I don't think, had that. So naturally, most of our mothers were taught to be homemakers. But what they did was that they imbibed in us women to be able to stand for ourselves, because they probably saw years from when they were raising us that we needed to stand on our own and be by ourselves and for ourselves.
Great.
But it still doesn't stop us from every day waking up and ensuring that we are always one step ahead of the game.
And what do you choose to challenge?
I choose to challenge 2 things. I think Linda said it right there, and I will challenge one thing with you. It's the fact that we are all working so hard to put the female leader out there, and it's all about women, and we're trying to promote gender equality. It's all good, but we're forgetting the boy child, and we're leaving the boy child behind. So what then happens is we're going to end up in 10 years, 20 years, with all these empowered, strong women who are resilient, hardworking, and we have men who can't stand up or march. And then that happens. What happens is naturally men are born leaders. Naturally men are born to lead and also to be the heads of the family. So that's a given. But when they can't bring to the table what this powerful young girl has, it becomes a problem. There's always an imbalance. So not to forget the boy child as we pull along all these girls. And I also want, personally, I want to challenge and question my personal biases. You know, as a woman, we are quick to make assumptions. And we are quick to assume everyone gets somewhere through a certain way. And I've been challenged myself because I've caught myself assuming the same way. So that is one thing I want to challenge myself. And lastly, to challenge myself to learn every day.
Great.
With what I do as CEO of Innovative Microfinance, I've learned that I've been comfortable at my level with my peers. So stepping out and actually going to a different segment has opened my eyes. And it's time for us women to step out of our comfort zone. You don't grow that much when you get stuck in your comfort zone. Get out of it and look at the segments around you and even below you. You'll be amazed at what you will learn every day. And that's my personal challenge.
Thank you. Yes, we're coming to you now.
Thank you very much. My name is Patience Antonio from Ohima Foundation. We work with women, children, and especially with even children. We want to look at 5 to 9 because the world focuses on below 5, and then young boys. So I share a lot in what is being discussed today. My question that I would want to get from you is the cultural issues that affect women. And so especially, I've also worked in the microfinance sector for 7 years in the north, in fact throughout Ghana. And so I share in your story. But I would want us to look at a bit of that in terms of, would you do only microfinance or do you do some bit of education supporting it because of the cultural issues that women face at that level? So if you could help me, I'll be very grateful. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Should I like your answer to be very concise?
Yes. Thank you. I can agree with her. It's a different terrain when you go up north, and especially trying to empower women. You've got the cultural issues where most communities don't want to see women empowered. Not that they think that women should be, but for them, empowering a woman means that they lose their hold as the men. Unfortunately, that has been such a huge problem because what they're failing to see is that when you empower the women, it makes it easier for the men. So one thing we do, and we continuously do at Innovative is, if you become a member, you have to go through our literacy education. And the education isn't open to the women, it's open to the men as well. And there are some communities that we do need the go-ahead and we do need the consent of the men. We go through the chiefs. You can't go into a community and just want to succeed. You have to know that in every community, one important thing you have to know is the culture of the community. What makes the community work? If it's to ensure that you get the buy-in of the chiefs, the elders, everyone within that community has to be given the respect. Right. And you have to break it down and give them the reasons why you feel this community needs to be empowered. We don't go into any community at all. But when there's a community with women who are doing a lot for themselves and who need that extra push, that is what takes Innovative there. But you need to break it down, and education is key. Right. Even the women themselves need to understand that you are there to teach them. Sometimes not to teach them to borrow, but to teach them to save, to learn the importance of saving and to imbibe in their children the importance of saving and the importance of ensuring that whatever you do, you put something down for the next day. So it's education and getting the buy-in of the entire community.
Beautiful. I hope you have been answered, Patience. And let me come finally to you, Abna. We're asking if it's becoming easier for women after championing, this cause for so long, and then what you choose to challenge.
So I've sat at a lot of big decision-making tables with a lot of very average men and a lot of exceptional women. So for me, the day the yardstick becomes exceptional people at the table or average people at the table, that is the day I know, regardless of sex, we're making progress. Because if the only way a woman can be invited to the table is having that woman be exceptional, whilst that same organization chooses lots of less than exceptional men to sit and make decisions, we are not there yet. So I think it's getting easier because of events like this, because of advocacy like this. It's making companies more aware that they need to diversify, they need to be inclusive at their decision-making tables. That is an important work that Theresa, the summit you hold, and the work of other institutions, partner organizations in terms of advancing this equality. When I read the UN's report that said women have 75% of the laws that men have, we still do not have a paternity leave. We don't have paternity leave for men. Why is it the woman's duty only to raise the child? Why is it the woman's duty only the woman's duty to raise the right son? It is the man's duty as well. So these are some of the things I think we need to do to bring the equality. What I choose to challenge, I've worked with great women in my life. I've been blessed with that. And I mentor and have been mentored by lots of great women. Last night, one of them, my mentees, almost put me in tears. Her name is Gifty, and she's with Tech Shelter. And the message she sent me, I sat up all night thinking about this message. One thing that really irks me is this saying that women are our own worst enemies. It irks me, and because in my experience, some of the best champions and collaborators I've worked with are women. And some of the people that have pushed me down have been men. So on this International Women's Day, what I choose to challenge is that women are not our own worst enemies. And I continue to mentor, I continue to uplift, I continue to not just sponsor, but push for every single sister of mine that has been deemed too average to sit at the table. Because at the table are many, many, many average men. And if they are average men, my perfectly average sister is welcome at the table. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. This is where we're ending our first panel discussion. Oh, we have a question. Let's take it quickly.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Vivian. I just wanted to ask concerning educating or training the women to come together to access finance, to get on the stock market and stuff. We have a challenge generally in Ghana where everybody wants to do their own thing. So I just want to ask how education is going on so that people will see the benefits of partnerships, of coming together so that they can maybe grow in scale. Because you go to a place and you have 10 or 20 people, artisans especially, they are all doing the same crafts, nothing different, yet everybody is running their own business and they can't access finance, they can't enlist on the stock market. So I just want to know what kind of education is going on for that. Thank you.
Hopefully you're able to give us an answer in 1 minute because we need to wrap up this session and make way for the next session.
Yes, the financial groups in Ghana, we're working towards the various levels of educating the sole proprietor through to the corporate type of person, through to the S to the M type of company to grow together. So you're right, there's, through associations, we are reaching out to people, but there's a lot of work still to be done, for sure. But it's work that we are up to the task and we'll be doing. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final question.
Thank you very much. Thank you too for sharing your experiences with us. I just want to find out how were you able to balance your family life and your marriage life with the career life, because you know that at a point one would suffer in a way. So how did you handle the situation? Thank you.
Did you get that? Yes. Okay, maybe Linda might want to take that.
Support, support, and support. We need it. If you are blessed to have a good husband, support. If you are blessed to have a good mother, support. House help, support. because you need them to be able to continue what you're doing. We need them.
Great. Thank you very much. Sheila Azuntaba Ado, founder, CEO, Innovative Finance. Linda Ampa, founder and CEO, Cardlin Fashions and Card Manufacturing. And Abena Amwa, Deputy Managing Director of Ghana Stock Exchange. God bless you, and happy International Women's Day to all of you.
Thank you.
Here's how we wrap up this session, and I would quickly like to recap what Angela said, that we should dream big, and all the women agree that we should dream big. But while you dream big, remember the wow factor. The first W, standing for hard work and working smart and relentlessly reinventing yourself. Also taking opportunities, pursue them with everything in you, and even when there are no opportunities, as much as possible, create them yourself. And finally, you deserve to be well. Wellness is key to this journey. Like Theresa, I choose to challenge no, because I believe that wherever there is a will, there is a way. Thank you all very much. Don't stop being a woman. We're not waiting for another International Women's Day to engage. Let's continue to engage in our small groups and at our levels. And like I said, if you need support and you need mentorship, ask. You will have it. Thank you very much. My name is Edem Naite. I am handing over to Na Shoko to take you through the next session.
But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Oh, now go, walk out the door, just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Oh, now go, walk out the door, just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with goodbye? You think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and die? Oh, no, not I. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll be alive. I've got all my life to live. I've got all my love to give. And I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey.
Hello, everybody, and good morning. My name is Na Ashoko. I am the host of Between Hours on Asasi Radio, and I'm very thrilled to host or moderate this panel discussion on a topic which I'm very excited about. You deserve to be well. And this also happens to be the tagline on our favorite cooking oil, Frytol. Now, on this day, as the world over, we celebrate women and all the amazing things that we are, I can't help but think about a statement which I have been told most of my life, and I'm sure most of us have been told same. The fact that as women, we can be everything and all things, that we can do it all, be it all, at all times. This is something my mother drummed into my ear as a child. I have 3 sisters, so we're all girls. And she constantly told us that there was nothing we could not do. And that statement has been my guide for most of the things that I've been able to do in my life. Now, as a mother, I'm a mom. I have 2 boys, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So I've got my hands full, somewhat. Guided by the statement that I can do all things, I have tried, God knows I've tried, to keep it together, to have a day job, be a good mom to my kids, be a good wife to my husband, be a friend, a sister, a daughter-in-law, and everything in between. Oh, and of course, I have tried to snap back, and I've been trying to snap back for 3 years. Now, I get a lot of pressure to do all these things and do them very well. About a month ago, I spoke to Pat at Unilever, and she told me, oh, now our new Frytol tagline is, "You deserve to be well." And I asked her, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean? Does it mean that Frytol cooking oil is good, so we should use it and we'll be well? And she said, yes, as always. Frytol is cholesterol-free and is good for you. But aside that, we're trying to tell women like you, who have to juggle so many things like most women have to, that while you try to give, you too deserve to be well. You too need to take a break and take care of yourself and be all the things that you believe you can be, which you cannot be if you keep giving and never having time for yourself to think about your own wellness. Now, that made me stop and think. I thought for a very long time about all the things I try to do and what I do for myself. And I realized, you know what? I don't do much for myself. I'm always trying to figure out what I can do for everybody else but myself. And that's the story of a lot of women. My sisters, my friends. I put it up on social media for a minute that, hey, if you can afford help, get someone to help you, because there's no award for struggling. There's no award for trying to do everything. Nobody gives you a reward for that. So if you can afford help, get it. And from all the replies that I saw on my page, I figured, wow, this is not just my problem. It's a problem of many women and many young women in particular. So for this panel discussion, we're going to talk about the various ways that we sometimes forget to take care of ourselves, our mental health, the things we eat, our physical well-being, and everything in between. So I'm looking forward to this discussion, and most importantly, I hope that it serves you well and you walk out of this auditorium knowing that you deserve to be well. Without much ado, I'd like to invite my panel upstage.
Hi, I am Stanley Banser, Research and Development Lead here in Woma Africa Limited, producers of Frytol vegetable oil, which is naturally cholesterol-free and fortified with vitamin A. Frytol vegetable oil is sourced from the mesocarp of the palm fruit, and it is further refined to take away dirt, impurities, and free fatty acids to produce Frytol vegetable oil on your tables, which is a monounsaturated fatty acid oil and also naturally cholesterol-free. It's also fortified with vitamin A, which helps eyesight and also boosts immunity against infectious diseases. Frytol vegetable oil is naturally cholesterol-free because it's sourced from plant-based, and plants do not contain cholesterol. Plants do contain phytosterols and not cholesterol. Cholesterol is being produced in humans, fish, and in animals. We strongly advise, if possible, not to reuse oil. Should there need be, we strongly advise that you filter out the oil from debris from previous fries and top it up with fresh oil before reuse. We use the opportunity to thank all our loyal consumers for the continual patronage of Frytol vegetable oil, which is naturally cholesterol-free and fortified with vitamin A. We say, keep a heart alive.
For a woman, giving comes naturally.
I gave life to this child, and even though it had a toll on me,
I can't wait to have another. Children are a blessing.
Work takes most of my time, but I always make it a point to support my parents and my siblings when they need me. I give them all the love that they deserve.
All the hard work I put in daily, from dawn to dusk, is just to provide for my family. I want to give them the good future they deserve.
Family is everything.
My family makes life worth living.
I will do anything for my family.
But sometimes I lose myself in the process.
I pour out so much love and service for others.
It leaves me drained, with no regard for my own well-being.
But should giving care and love to family deprive a woman of her wellness? Frytol presents You Deserve to Be Well.
Yes.
Deserve to be well.
A woman's heart, a mother's touch, a daughter's kiss can change the world. You're always there, good times or despair. You shine your light into the world. From when you're hard at work to when you're home. You're a superwoman on your own. You deserve to be well. You shared all your love, and now it's time for you to be well for yourself. You deserve to be well. You show the world you care, and it's your time for you to be well for yourself. You deserve to be well. You shared all your love, and now it's time for you to be well for your family.
Frytol, you deserve to be well.
You deserve to be well. Happy Women's Day.
Thank you so much, Irene Logan. I'm now honored to invite my panel up on stage. Our first panelist is from Wilma, Africa. She's a Christian wife, a mother, and a marketing and communications professional. She started her career in PR and then moved into marketing after 3 years. She's now the marketing manager at Wilma Africa Limited, handling foods like Frytol and Fortune. She's also the proud leader of the Ghana chapter of Women Rediscovered Ghana, a Christian women fellowship. With a round of applause, please help me welcome up on stage Diana Edu Asari Dakon. Looking very lovely.
First I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side.
Is Mrs. Patrina Eduse. She's a professional clinical mental health counselor and a communications expert. She's served in areas such as business development, teaching, mentoring, retail, administration, and counseling. In counseling, she has worked with clients above the age of 80 years and clients as young as 16 years. With a round of applause, please help me welcome up on stage Mrs. Patrina Eduse.
I was cursed, I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong.
Our third panelist is Mrs. May Meskawi Kalmoni. She's the founder and CEO of Lotus Detox and Wellness Center. She's an architect by profession and a holder of an EMBA from Lancaster University, Ghana. She came to Ghana from Lebanon 27 years ago to settle with her husband, Salem Kalmoni, the MD of Japan Motors Limited. She's the mother of 3 daughters, and she has a passion for social service and supporting people's well-being. A round of applause for May as she joins us up on stage. Thank you. And finally, I'd like to invite up on stage Mavis Abna Asamoah Apieje. She's a registered clinical dietitian. She's been in the field for 17 years. She's married with 2 children, and she says she's made in Ghana, proudly, but she lived and studied most of her life in Canada. She's a member of the College of Registered Dietitians of Alberta, Canada, and she holds a membership with the Ghana Dietitians Association and the Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Diabetics. Please help me welcome up on stage Mavis Abna Asamoah Apieje, our final panelist. Please join us. A round of applause for her as she comes. If you're listening to us or watching us online, we have some amazing giveaways for you. So stay tuned and answer our questions as we go. Ladies, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I trust we're all well, as we deserve to be.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd like us to start off by telling us, each of us, telling us what wellness means to you. Dinah. And you are from Wilma, Africa. So the You Deserve to Be Well campaign is from your desk. Why this campaign to start with? Yes. Okay, so we at Wilma, it's not working.
Hello. Hello. So why this campaign? So at Frytol, we realize that the women that we serve are women who are juggling so many things. They have the intention to make their world a better place, whether from raising kids that are responsible enough to contribute positively to the society, being a good wife, being a good mother, being a career woman, or doing business successfully. And all these things are good, but we realize that at some point, they forget themselves, right? They forget to take care of themselves, they forget to aspire, they forget to set goals, or better still, sacrifice their goals, all to make other people's lives better. And we are saying that all these things are good, but like was said earlier, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you deserve to be well, to be able to do all these things that you do as a woman. And you don't have to necessarily sacrifice one for the other. If there is a way to balance so that you can get all these things done successfully in wellness, then that's what Frytol is here to do, to support you to be that woman that you want to be, but well. So that's basically it.
I can't help but agree. So what does wellness for you, Dinah, mean?
Okay. For me, wellness is being able to set goals, right, out of family goals, and achieving them without guilt. So if I have a dream, if I have a goal, I should be able to achieve it without having any guilt. So for me, that's wellness.
Wow. Personal goals. How about you, Patrina?
Okay, thank you. For me, wellness means understanding first and foremost that I'm human, right? As we've talked about, most of us have multiple roles, but I've had to understand that before I'm any of my roles, I'm a human being. So if I'm tired, I need rest. If I'm hungry, I need to eat. If I'm in need of a hug, I need to get a hug. So I have been able to achieve, and I'm continuing to work on my wellness by first understanding that I'm human, being kind to myself, and taking the things I deserve for myself. Thank you.
Being kind to yourself. Okay, May?
Happy International Day for all of you.
Thank you.
For me, wellness has to do with well-being or being well. Our being is made out of three aspects. We have the physical being, the mental being, and the and the spiritual being, or our soul. We always hear about you should have balance between body, mind, and soul. Why? Because our mind controls our body, and our mind is also controlled by our beliefs. So our beliefs affect our choices, and our choices affect our actions. Okay, so I will add to the balance issue, I will add, in order to achieve wellness, you have to be in harmony. How do you do that? You have to be in harmony with your body, and you have to be mindful of your body. So in harmony with anything that it needs, what the body needs, okay? And we can talk more into details about, there are so many aspects of the physical needs of the body. But also it should be in harmony of your thoughts and of your, your thoughts of yourself. What do you think of yourself? What are the main emotions you develop out of these thoughts? Are they positive emotions or negative emotions? So this is a key to wellness, because to be well, you have to have positive thoughts about yourself, about your body, about everything, about life, about relationships. It's also being in harmony with your creator and with your beliefs, with your self-worth. What is your mission in this life? Why are you here? So these things, for me, constitute essential, concepts for wellness. Yeah.
Body, mind, and soul.
Exactly.
All in harmony.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in harmony with your emotions, I would say.
Okay.
In harmony with your purpose of life.
Okay. We'll
Why
go further
do you do
into
this?
that. We'll get further into that, because I think it's really, really important.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of us are trying to figure out.
Sure.
Mavis, what does wellness mean to you?
Good morning, everybody, and happy International Women's Day to everybody here. I would like to thank all stakeholders involved in this summit, first and foremost. And I would like to also say that to God be the glory, because all things happen by the grace of God. When we talk about wellness, I believe May was coming towards the point of holistic wellness, where spiritually you're well, mentally you're well, physically you're well. And the physical aspect that I would like to, because I believe everybody has touched on the emotional aspect, the spiritual aspect, and I would like to touch on the physical aspect. We tend to forget how important what we put in our bodies plays such a vital role as to our ability to have the energy, the mental wellness, the emotional wellness. If you're not eating well, you don't feel well. If you're not eating well, you don't look well. If you're not eating well, in other words, food that nourishes from the inside. If we believe that our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit, then it is important that what we put in reflects that. And I believe that for me, wellness is about being able to achieve all these aspects of it. Does it mean that I do it every day and I do it well? No. It means that every day is an opportunity to be able to do and to improve where I left off. So for me, wellness is about making sure that I, as the person, as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, that I am nourishing my best physically, spiritually, so that I can pour out to my children, to my husband, to my society, in my workplace, that I can pour out the best of myself for the rest of the individuals around me.
Exactly, and you cannot give what you don't have. So if you're tired, that's what you're going to give. If you're happy, you're going to be able to exude that. Now, I'd like us to talk about the various aspects that you mentioned, May. Physical well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being, and overall well-being. But first, let's talk about this question that I have heard asked so many times. I want to be well all round. That means in my personal life and also in my social and work life. Is it possible at all, realistically? I mean, ideally, we would like to have a good balance in our personal life and with our work. But realistically, from your various experiences, is it possible for a woman to be able to have a good work and life balance? Start with you, Dinah.
Okay. I'll say yes to an extent, depending on how you utilize the support and the resources that are available to you. So I think that one thing that has been drummed home on this platform, and I've heard in many places, is that you need a support system. You need someone to help you to balance, or people to help you to balance. But one thing I want to add to that is how you even leverage on that support. I realize from my own personal experience that sometimes you can have the support system in place, maybe a husband, a house help, a nanny, and all that. But there's still this guilt that lingers on with women, even when there's a support system. So in that case, you're not able to leverage on that support. Let me use myself as an example. So I'm working late one day, and I asked my husband to pick my child up for me if I'm not able to make it at a certain time. So he picks the child up, which is supposed to be good news, right? So I'm supposed to have all the focus on the work that I set out to do. And then I'm calling every minute or every 5 minutes
to ask what's going on,
checking how he's doing, whether he's
Yeah.
at home. And to make it worse, I tell my husband, make sure he doesn't sleep before I come. You know, do anything you want to do. I mean, give him cartoons, do something. I want to make sure that I come and just meet him awake.
Okay.
In this case, I'm not even leveraging on the support system because I don't even have the mind that I need, or I set out to achieve the goal that I have in the office. So should I learn how to let go a little so that I'll be able to leverage on the support system, and I'm sure it can apply in many other ways, then I can have a good balance. But if I want to be everything, every time, not leveraging on the support that I have, then it won't be possible. So for me, I feel that it's how you set your support system and make sure that you leverage on the resources that you have. And I'm sure Petrina will talk more about, counseling,
Yes.
seeking help and all that. So if all these things are available, but you don't make use of it, then you will not be able to have a good balance. But for me, I feel that, and I believe that if you're able to make use of all the resources available, you'll be able to balance.
Then I can't help but agree with you. Sometimes you have all the support, but the struggle is mental, and I'm glad, Petrina, you're speaking next. How can we mentally accept support when it comes and let go so that we can achieve a good balance while still feeling well and guilt-free?
Okay. So I agree with you guys to a large extent. I am of the school of thought that it's impossible for you to give 100% to everything. And like you said, it's not realistic. So let's look at it like a bowl of water. Hello? Okay. So this bottle of water has 500 milliliters, right? And you have 5 cups. Let's look at these 5 cups as the roles that you fill: mother, wife, sister, daughter-in-law, whatever it is. You can only pour the amount of water in this bottle into the 5 cups. You can't pour 500 milliliters into each one of them. And that's how we have to look at ourselves. So the mental space is looking at it that way first and being kind to yourself and understanding that if I'm at work, I might have to pour half into that work cup and then maybe 1/10 of it into the home cup. So I have the support at home right now. What I can do is I can call in once and check. That's what I can give. That is where my control is. Because as I'm sitting here behind my computer at my desk, I do not have the ability to watch my child, right? So being kind to yourself, understanding that you only have a finite amount of energy and attention that you can give, is a great place to start mentally.
Okay. May.
Yes. Okay. Time is our life, right?
Yes.
Our life is about time.
Yeah.
And the more successful we are, the more good we are at managing our time, we become more successful. But let me bring a little bit different perspective on work-life balance here. to be well, you need to be happy.
Yes.
Okay, and need to be content. So even if you do the best schedule for between your work and your life, if it's only about getting things done, does it guarantee you'll be happy? You see, so I want to bring another dimension here, because sometimes you get a bit trapped in this, that, oh, it's just that I have to do all these things on my agenda and I'm done and I'm successful but you still get sick.
Yes.
And you still get tired. Why? Because life is about choices. We choose to work. We choose to this particular job. We choose to get married. We choose to have children. So first of all, we need to be very mindful about our choices and be careful whether are we overloading ourselves or not. Are we being, reasonable in our choices that we are making now? Do I want to have at the same time a new degree, a new child, and a new job? And it's too much, And so first of all, also, not only the choice, we have to be happy with our choice. Yeah. If we are happy with our choice, sometimes even overworking, it doesn't make us sick because we are happy working. Like, you can overwork for one day and then the second day rests, But if you are even having few hours of work and you're not happy with your job, you don't feel well.
Yeah.
You don't feel well. You might even develop some ailments, If you are also not happy in your family life, what's the point of doing balance between things that you're not happy with? So we need to also not only focus about the balance, we need to focus about our choices and our life schedule that we put for ourselves and our targets. It's great to dream big, but we need also to be realistic and be ready for it. And not forget that this shouldn't be on behalf of our wellness. And shouldn't be like we shouldn't step on our health just because we want to achieve something. It's the more healthy we are, the better we can achieve, I believe.
Wow, exactly.
The more happier we are, we can achieve more.
Yeah. I feel like you're speaking directly to me. Because one of the things that make me very happy at night is being able to check everything on my to-do list. But then that leaves me tired sometimes. And I wake up the next day wishing I had slept more. But knowing that if I had slept more, I wouldn't have been able to finish everything on my to-do list. And then it's just an endless cycle.
Exactly.
So choices, you're right, choices matter. And at the end of the day, you must be happy and well with the choices you have made.
That's why the mental affects the
physical.
The physical.
Yes.
You can never exercise if you are not ready to exercise.
Exactly.
You can never, even eating. You can fall into emotional eating if you are not, and I'm sure
Yes, we had a bit about eating a lot of ice cream and cake and not growing fat, and I thought, that was you. Wouldn't that be glorious? All right, Mavis, let's talk about achieving a good work and life balance and food, because I know many people who fall on food when they're feeling stressed with all the things they have to juggle and finding a good balance. They eat a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and the next thing we know, things are getting out of hand, and then that affects your wellness.
So I think we need to also, I'm loving this because we're all like in sync and we're hitting the major points. But I think sometimes a little bit of ice cream is perfectly fine. It's okay to have ice cream. We have this mindset that certain foods are evil.
Yes.
Certain foods are good for you. And therefore, we even feel guilty sometimes because we indulge a little bit. There's no food. Based on research and based on what I understand about nutrition, there is no food that is evil. There is no food that is necessarily bad for you.
Okay.
It is about how we choose to eat it. And it comes back to the whole concept of our wellness. If we, and Trina said it, if we focus on one particular type of area and we hit, and from a nutrition perspective, we will sometimes focus on carbohydrates and protein. Yes, the nice big rounded fufu with the goat meat on the side. We focus on that.
Yes.
And we forget about the other aspects of things. But for me, wellness, I believe, has to start from me. I can't be well in my job, I can't be well in my personal life, I can't be well in how I treat my children if I'm not well. I must make myself priority. And as women, we have a hard mindset about this because we've been bred, we've been made to understand that we must make all things around us well. And only then will we be well. And I'm of the mindset, and I'm going to challenge this mindset that, no, we must first be well. If my wellness, if things around me, my work is well, my children are well, my husband is well, my career is well, I must first make myself priority. I must invest in what I eat. Because ironically, as women, we are role models on so many levels. As I sat here and listened to all the panelists and the women, we are role models for those who aspire. There are students in this room who are listening to us, who are taking in everything we're learning. And if we forget about us, the woman, the girl child who needs to eat well, who needs to be physically active, if we can achieve that, then I believe that every aspect of our lives can then be well. But if we put ourselves last, and as we said, and Trina put it nicely, we were bouncing off of each other on Saturday. We were talking about the fact that if you're on, for me, I came in with the angle that if you're on a plane and you are told that the plane is crashing, if you don't put your oxygen mask on, you don't breathe, how can you be alive to assist all those around you? So for me, I believe that wellness has to start from me. I need to take care of me. I need to eat well, because if I'm doing it, others are watching me. I am the one feeding my husband. I am the one feeding my child. We forget about the generational cycle. In clinical setting, you will hear somebody say to me, oh, you know what? I never ate vegetables because I didn't grow up with it. I didn't learn how to do this. And I'm of the mindset that even a 99-year-old can change the way they eat. They can change the way they feel about themselves. They can change the way they look at their lives. And as women, if we put ourselves first, and I'm not meaning in the selfish sense that we think about, like, you know, we're going to go and I will cook for you and you can do your... No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that when we are feeding our children, that we take the time to also eat. We must make the time, because so many of us, we will never send our child to school without any food. Yet we have no problem getting ready, getting in the car, and not having eaten. That's where the wellness issue becomes a problem, because we're forgetting about ourselves and the fact that we must be well in order to pour into all those aspects.
Exactly. You cannot give what you don't have. Now, I'd like to ask you ladies this question, and it's a question that has come up many times in my conversations with a lot of women in my line of work. I find that, and probably this is an experience that each of us might have had at some point in our lives. As a growing woman, when you begin to have children, there comes a point where you have children under one, for example, you know, very young children, and then you have to go to work. We have maternity leave of about 3 months. Some people get 4 or 5 months, and then you have to go to work. That period in a woman's life can be very difficult, because you are faced with a challenge mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, to be a good mother to your child, a good employee to your employers, or even if you run your own business, and also be mentally okay to be able to combine all of these things. The decision to go back to work can drain and drown a woman mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I'd like all of us to share your experiences and advice on how you have handled these things and how that can contribute to the general wellness of any young mother or any young lady who aspires to be a mother who's listening to us now. Dinah.
Okay. So I would say that it's always been difficult. It was difficult for me as well, going back after, you know, having a child. But there's one thing that I think has guided me when it comes to making such difficult decisions, especially when it has to do with parting with my child, that It's very likely that anything that can happen in your absence can happen in your presence. So you can't be you're not God. Like, you can't be the God, of his life, right? So if it's because you feel that if you're home, he cannot be involved in an accident, that can be a deception. Because you can be at home and he'll still be involved in an accident. You get my point? So point is that we need to get to a point where we realize that there's only so much we can do. And at a point, we need to learn to let go. Because if you want that career or that job, if you want that home, that child, you even need that career and the financial ability to be able to support home anyways. So for me, one of the things that helps me is to position myself that there's only so much I can do, right? So whilst I'm present, I'll do as much as I can. And when I have to let go, I have learned to let go.
Awesome. Patrina, this situation, as I have come to know, has led to a lot of instances of postpartum depression and a lot of young moms, a lot of moms, working moms, and so on. In your line of work, have you been faced with some of these questions from women, and what do you tell them?
Yes, this is actually a very common problem. Postpartum depression is depression that exists after a mother has had a child. Usually your symptoms will last 2 weeks or more. So there's something called the baby blues that lasts roughly 2 weeks, and then it gradually wears off. But for some women, unfortunately, it lingers. And so you have situations where you have difficulty sleeping, or you're sleeping too much. You have loss of appetite, or you're eating too much. It's difficult for you to concentrate. You feel worthless, you feel hopeless, you feel powerless. You lose a lot of motivation. You lose a lot of motivation for the things that you want to do, and you develop physical symptoms like pain in your body, so on and so forth. And so, yes, this is something that some of my clients have actually gone through. Before I come back to what I say to them, there are a lot of women here who have found themselves in positions where they're a manager, a supervisor, or a boss. And so I want to use this opportunity to speak to you. Research has shown that when women go back to work right after their maternity leave, the change is quite drastic. And so productivity is quite low. So there's that thing, oh, you've had your maternity leave, come right back. Usually it's best, so you get good value for the money that you're paying the person, to transition them gradually. I know there are some companies that are doing quite well with that. It's a great start where they allow mothers with newborns to close earlier than usual. So if you're here and it's something that you can spearhead or implement in your company, I'd really encourage that. Sometimes even working from home, if you have goals that are not set to be finished on an exact day, you can give them the goals for the week. And then by the end of the week, this and this and this should be done. So they're able to work around their time and be productive. So you are getting the results you need, you're getting good value for your money. So yes, if you're here, I'd really encourage that if you have the power to do so, and advocate in your companies as well. But for the individuals, postpartum depression is something that some people get over, right? Typically we hear things like, oh, we went through it. You talk to someone, it's normal, oh, me too, I went through it. But with God, all things are possible. Yes, with God, all things are possible. But what we don't see is that not being able to navigate that time properly, it leads to things that are irreversible. Let me give an example of this. When you're going through postpartum depression, it affects you, it affects your relationship with the people around you. It affects your baby, the well-being of your baby, how happy your baby is. It's translated there. I've seen situations in couples therapy where marriages have been affected almost irreparably because of postpartum depression, because the person wasn't given the space to speak about what they were going through, to get the help that they needed, to get the support that they needed. So to echo what people have, use your support system. If there's help there, ask for it. Please, especially with your partners. Yes, our culture is such that most men haven't been groomed to on their own come and say, oh, should I change the diaper for you? There are times when I've had to chase my husband around the house and say, you are supposed to change the diaper, we make a joke out of it. But sometimes that self-imposed, I am the one who is supposed to
Yeah.
handle everything. You won't ask.
Yeah.
I struggled with that guilt. But then I had to teach myself and be kind to myself and sometimes ask. Even when I'm there thinking, oh, a good woman shouldn't ask her husband to do this, I would ask for the help and still sit with my guilt. But at least I got the help I needed. So that's an example.
Ask for help. That's something that I don't know if it's just as women who struggle with this, but asking for help can be so difficult, especially when it comes to things that we think should be traditionally a woman's role.
Yeah, I think that's one problem. It's like our definition of our role
That's,
as women.
yes.
It's in itself. We need to do something about it.
But I think gradually we are opening ourselves up to understand the fact that, you know, there are some things that don't come pre-installed in us as women. Anybody can do it. And so if you can do it, do it. If you can't, ask for help. Thank you so much, Petrina. How about you, May?
Okay, in my case, luckily I had the luxury to work from home when my children were small. I was consultant on my own, so I'm not an employee. So I had that luxury, and also the support, as they said, it's really very important.
Yeah.
But the advice I would see here is like, set your priorities right, because when you see that you cannot get the right support, if you get the right support, fine. You also need to know how to use it, because it shouldn't be you end up like your child is growing, you are not around, you see. And but at the same time, you should look at your situation and see, can I manage between house and you can also sometimes get the support from your work and speak openly to your boss and ask for maybe part-time or any arrangement, even if you have to decide to break for a year or so, because the child only grows, this first year does not repeat. That's the time, although they need you all the time in their life, but that's critical for your own well-being as well. So even, I think that my message here is, we cannot be superwoman. If we want to stay well, we have to prioritize. And because life is coming. You can always achieve, even if you're at home, taking care of your child, maybe it's a good break for you to think of something and learn something new. Even now with the online situation, you can learn a lot of stuff. So don't do something because you have to. Do it because you want to do it. That's my advice. Try. It's sometimes difficult, I know. But as much as possible, compromise on the things that are not necessary, and stick to the things that are very necessary. Because we can't say we want to do all these things, I want to be superwoman and we want to be well. It's possible, but in a reasonable way. Yeah.
I think this question is one that will linger on for a very long time.
Yeah.
Be superwoman, that's, do all the things you want to do and still be well. I don't know. I think it's a question that will linger on for a very long time. But that's why it's important to have conversations such as these. And I think so far, one thing that I've taken from all of you is that it's important to prioritize, see the things that are important now, that you can do now and do them, and get support and help when it's available, and know how to harness it. Yes, and leverage on all the support you can get.
Can I put something from my own experience here? By wanting to be the best mother, the best wife, the best, professional or whatever,
yes.
Sometimes you don't notice that you overwork yourself unnecessarily by saying yes to so many things. And so later, when I started becoming more aware about my well-being and all this, I started asking, why? Why should I do this for this person? And even for my own children, because your family is the first people in your life who, draw more from you, because you love them, they love you, so they think, it's okay, do this for me, they start asking you so many things, and sometimes you need to learn to put a line, draw a line, that I've done this, now you do this. So what I'm trying to say, we need to also be mindful of how we are treating people around us and how people are treating us.
Exactly.
And do we really need to do all the things we are doing? So this way, yeah, we can do a lot and be well.
At the same time.
Because we draw a line.
Yes.
We don't go overboard just to satisfy other people unnecessarily.
Yeah, at our own risk.
Yes, at our own
Mavis,
risk.
Take pride in
let me go to Mavis and then I'll come back to you. Mavis.
I believe in outsourcing.
You believe in?
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing,
In
okay.
other words,
support.
It's okay for the dirty dishes to be there. Life will not end. It's okay for the toys and the stuff to be in the house.
Okay.
The likelihood of somebody to come in to visit you, most of the time it doesn't happen, but we're so fictitious about making sure
The house has to be clean and perfect. Yeah.
And there's nothing happening. It's okay. I mean, COVID has shown us that. Listen, there are people who their jobs are to make okra stew, to make palm soup, to make stews for you to come. You can actually outsource it. In other words, instead of you trying to make breakfast, make lunch, and make supper, give somebody else a job. Send some of your work to somebody else. Use your family members the way they want to use you. Use them well. Use them too. Why not?
Yes.
Because when you're just giving birth to, people want to know, oh, how can I help you?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's okay. It's okay.
When is the next one coming?
You know, that one day we won't go there for now. But please, somebody can make you soup. Somebody can make you stew. Somebody can set things up for you that that you're not having to. All you have to do is do that. So please, for me, asking for help means that you bring mom in, you bring siblings in, you bring anybody that's willing to help you to make sure that you're not doing it all by yourself. Outsource. It's okay. Life won't end because you ask for help.
Ask for help. The key word is outsourcing. And come to think of it, aside your own wellness, you can outsource everything else. Pretty much everything. You can get help for everything. Amazing. Now, let's talk about our lives in whole, our financial well-being, the things we put into our bodies, as in the things we eat or don't eat that we have to eat, our spiritual well-being, and also living a good life independent of our spouses. Now, I'm putting all of these together so we can comment on whichever one we're comfortable commenting on. Our financial well-being, for example, that is a major stress area for most people. Sometimes the reason we overburden ourselves with so much work that affects our wellness is that we want to be able to afford the things that we want. I want to be able to go to Lotus and have a good massage. I want to be able to use my Frytol oil and not reuse it. Because for you to be well, you need to use your oil only once, as much as possible. But we all know from the Kelewele joint that we use it thousands of times. And even in our own homes, the number of times we fry fish with one oil, we are all guilty. So I want to be able to afford all of these things. Eat well, go to a dietitian. And for some reason in Ghana, you can speak to that. It seems that if you want to eat well, it can be expensive. So you can speak to that and let us see how we can eat well within our finances. So that's the bit about finances. And then living a good life independent of our spouses is something that a lot of women also struggle with. And it's even necessary at all that we do that. Also, let's talk about our physical well-being, exercise, making the time to even exercise. What kind of exercise can I even do without having to make time to travel to a gym, especially during these COVID-19 times? So whichever one you're comfortable speaking to directly, you may do so. Let me start with you, Mavis.
So I'll take the angle of the physical activity and the nutrition aspect.
And nutrition, okay.
It's funny, I personally, my husband and I, we made a vow we're going to do this, so we've now got a personal trainer. And the funny part of it is that the first day when he came in, he's like, oh, we're going to work out. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be good. The first thing he made us do was to crawl on the ground. And I'm like, my husband is like, so we're paying this man to make us crawl on the ground. Literally. And we're paying him for this. I say that to bring back the point that wherever you are, physical activity, which is the ability to break out in sweat, is possible. If you have a 1-year-old and the 1-year-old is learning how to crawl on the floor with them, because it is a form of physical activity. If you're at home and you are washing clothing or you're mopping or sweeping is a form of physical activity. Mopping is a form of physical activity. Dishwashing is a form of physical activity. But we've somehow relegated that to be something that we don't consider that. But it is a form of physical activity. When it comes to nutrition and the idea that healthy eating is expensive, I choose to stand here and say that I disagree with that. Because when you look at the volume of food that you would eat if you're eating healthy, it cuts down by 50%. Meaning that if you are eating cabbage, onions, tomatoes, and I'm bringing it down to simple, kontomire, alefu, bokboko, ayoyo, those are not expensive. They're actually cheaper. If you're eating beans and lentils, and the research is starting to show that plant-based protein is actually better for us. Beans and lentils are cheaper than going to buy chicken or fish. So sometimes it's our mindset that needs to change. We have this mind that if I'm going to eat brown rice, it's going to be expensive. But I will venture to say, and I'll challenge you, that if you buy a 5-kilo bag of white rice, you go through that bag, by the end of the week, that can finish. But if you go through a 5-kilo bag of brown rice, it will take you twice as long because the fiber in it prevents you from overeating. As soon as you eat a small amount, you're full. So please, for those of you who are thinking that healthy eating is expensive, after we finish this panel discussion, we're going to go to my able chef, Chef Brown, and he's going to show us how to eat breakfast in 5 minutes. Inexpensive, affordable, and it's cheap, so that you don't feel that, oh, you know what, I have to go and buy lettuce or arugula or kale.
Yeah.
Something where you probably never had before.
Yeah.
But basic stuff that is affordable and is doable.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mavis. May?
I have only one comment about the financial aspect, which is it's all about expectations, you know. The problem is sometimes we put higher expectations than what we can afford. And that causes a feeling of not being well. And we don't accept, or we are not happy with our own situation. Everyone, God has given him something. And when we don't feel happy or content with what we have, and when we think that what we have is not enough or is not good enough for us to live a good life, that is the problem. Okay? So first of all, we need to do our best to get the financial, to a certain financial situation, like not to be lazy, do what we can do to get independence. But at the same time, we shouldn't fall in the trap of
overworking.
Expecting. And also, I agree with Madame Mavis that good food doesn't have to be expensive.
Yes.
And I want to give an example, not only about food. Like, I mean, we live in Ghana, and Ghana is really blessed with a lot of nutritious things. And I even discovered that more when I started eating more healthy. I was shocked to discover that, why I haven't been drinking coconut water? I mean, I see coconut everywhere, but I didn't drink it. But look at the benefits of coconut water. You know, we just take it like, or even cracking coconut pieces like that. It's really good. I mean, drinking water, is it expensive? Water. You see a lot of people, they don't drink water. And that affects your well-being. Yeah. And it makes sometimes you think you're hungry, but you're thirsty. You know, sometimes you think you are hungry, but you need a fruit to give you some boost of energy, some boost of vitamin C. So it's a go again to our being mindful and to our choices. Being mindful about our choices and what we are. Sometimes we like to complicate issues. I cannot exercise unless I go to the gym. Who said so? You can go take a walk under the gardens, you know, in your garden, in the street.
Or you can jump by your bedside.
You can jump with the rope. You can get a trampoline and jump on it. I mean,
that sounds like fun.
Yes, I mean, you can dance.
Yeah.
Dancing is very good for health. I mean, sometimes we like to find excuses for not doing things. I'm not eating healthy because I can't go to the dietitian and, it's boring. I
Or
don't
brown
like
rice
it.
doesn't
And
taste good.
yeah, it's not tasty, it's not nice. To be frank with you, I had to do 180-degree change in my diet. And first, if I look at the salad, I say, don't waste
too
my
dry.
time. I'll go straight to the rice and the meat and everything. But now I do enjoy my salad bowl, but I do it the way I like, with the nutritious stuff inside. I enjoy doing it the way I like. So food becomes not like a punishment. I mean, don't think that I'm punishing myself, I'm not eating what I know. That also comes back to the emotional state of your choice. You should be happy with your choice. I am doing what is good for my body.
And nowadays, there are very interesting diets. We end up starving ourselves, and then that affects your general wellness.
You shouldn't. I mean, it's the quality. If you want me to explain further, there are more aspects about eating than what you eat.
Okay.
It's what time you eat, how do you prepare the food, and the portion. All these things are part, and even how mindful are you, and what do you eat today and what you eat tomorrow. Maybe sometimes we all like to eat some things that are a bit, unhealthy. But what do we do after that? Go for a walk. Tomorrow, I don't eat much. I mean, I don't have to eat an ice cream after a fried fish or a fried chicken.
Exactly.
It's okay. I mean, I have an ice cream later on. So it's not that either deprivation feeling or indulgence. We need to find the balance between when to indulge and when to deprive ourselves. Because also fasting is a very important thing for our body. And all of us, we know, because religious fasting is in the Islam, is in Christianity, and we see the benefit of it. Why can't we enjoy fasting as well? I mean, when we combine all these things, if you are convinced that it's good for you, you enjoy it.
Exactly. So it all comes from the mind.
Yes.
If you're convinced that this is good for you, you'll be able to do it without feeling that you're depriving yourself of something delicious.
Exactly.
Right. Let me come to you, Patrina, and then we'll come to Dinah.
Okay. I'd like to talk about the mental aspect, obviously, and stress, right? A lot of us have said, oh, I feel so stressed out, I'm so stressed. I'd like to show you ways in which stress can affect your life, and then if there is time, maybe share a few tips. Now, imagine a situation where you are the woman, you're in the center, you have all these roles. Like I said, worker, mother, wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever it is, whatever role you have. Now you're feeling stressed out, ways in which it manifests. Your partner can say something to you that is not meant to be offensive, and you'll snap. It affects your relationship. You come home from work, let's say something has happened at work, you feel stressed out coming home. Let's even talk about the drive home or in the trotro. The mate, Sissa, my change, what's wrong with you? And then you're spewing insults at the mate just because he has delayed with your change. Or a trotro driver crosses you and you curse his mother and his whole family line. Then you walk into the house, and then your child left their shoe by the door again. And maybe when you were walking, you tripped. Now, I'm not against corporal punishment, but I can tell you for a fact, especially in our part of the world, that a lot of the beatings some of us received as children did not match the things that we did wrong. Because our parents came home stressed. And this is why you deserve to be well. You have to think about your well-being. To be a good wife, to be a good mother, to be a good person to yourself, to be kind to yourself, you have to be well. So you don't transfer these things, especially my passion is with how parents treat, especially for young parents now, how we treat our children. Then your child is throwing tantrums. This bad child, who cry in the families like this? It's your stress. Please, stress management is very important. It actually leads to some of the symptoms of stress mimic the symptoms of depression. So you get very irritable, you get angry. In our society too, we have a lot of very high-functioning depressed people. Because in the pictures that we see on TV and stuff, when a person is depressed, they're in their room. I don't go anywhere, I don't want to talk to anyone. We don't have that luxury. So you have a high-functioning person showing up to work, showing up to church, but is very depressed inside because our society has perfected the art of showing up like nothing is wrong. So some of the things that I would suggest quickly in dealing with your stress is we've talked about this, you are superhuman. So you're a superwoman, yes, but you are not non-human. You are a human being first. Know what you can give to what situation. Set realistic expectations. The food you eat is actually very important in your stress levels. Hypertension, your cholesterol levels, healthy eating is important. I encourage therapy. If you can afford it, by all means. Social media is a new thing. There are so many pages that share tips and tools that are helpful for us. So we shouldn't only go there just for entertainment, but we can go there for edification. Your religious faith, if singing, praying is something that helps you out, do it often. Think about this in your mind. Your health is physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, and then ask yourself, what can I do? Something little in every area to address this. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Everything you said, retweet. Wow. All of these things are important, and they all contribute to our general wellness. Unfortunately, we don't avert our minds to these things all the time, and so it's great that we have conversations like this so we can learn from each other and tap into each other's knowledge. Dinah, you have the final word on this.
I think Petrina just took the wind out of my sail.
I know.
Seek knowledge.
Yeah.
Because there are many things that we assume. I think I encountered Mavis some few days ago and realized that it's not really expensive to eat healthy.
I know, yes.
So I'll say that seek knowledge. Like you said, we go to social media for entertainment.
Yeah.
There are so many things that we can learn from there. I would also advise that we are open. I think sometimes some women think that our strength is in more of the kind of burdens we are able to carry. If you're able to do this and do that, then you're a good woman. But I believe that we need to get to a point where we are open, where we can discuss our weaknesses, where we can seek and rely on the strength of others. And I believe that we'll be fine. So that will be my last word. Seek knowledge, be open, seek help when it is required, and lean on other people's strength.
Outsource. The key word is outsource. If you're listening to us or watching us online, we'd like you to be a part of today's conversation. And we have some giveaways for you. All you have to do is go below the feed and answer any of these questions. If you answer them correctly, we have some giveaways for you to come pick up or we'll deliver. We'll let you know how you get it. So, name the brand colors of Frytol. The brand colors of Frytol. If you're watching us, it's all over the place. In fact, Dinah and I are representing Frytol very well today. And what does wellness mean to you? There's no correct answer to this question, but I would like to really know, as individual women, what does wellness mean to all of us individually? Even here on this panel, wellness means so many different things to each of us. So it's an individual thing, and what might be good for Diana might not be the best example of wellness for me. So we'd like to know from you, what does wellness mean to you in your individual life, and what are you doing to achieve it? And the final question, the third question is, name any two speakers on this panel. Any two. You don't have to give me the full name, just their first names will suffice. So what does wellness mean to you? What are the Frytol brand colors? And name any of our panelists here on this stage. Just before we wrap up on air, I'd like to go around one last time and ask you to give us a sentence, just one sentence, which our listeners here in the auditorium, on air and online, can take home that will help them drive their personal wellness agenda. Just one sentence. Mavis.
You put me on the spot now, eh?
Sorry?
You put me on the spot. One sentence. Nutrition starts one day at a time. Healthy eating starts one day at a time. One day, you can add vegetables. The next day, you can do beans. One step at a time. The weight doesn't come on just because you woke up and the weight was there. It took time. So just take it one day at a time, and the weight will come off one day at a time, and the healthy eating will be achieved. And you don't have to do it all at once.
May.
I would say that if you want to be well, you have to be mindful of three things: of your relationship with your creator, of your relationship with your society, and your relationship with your body.
Okay.
These three things. And you need to have a predominant emotion for all these three, which is love. Love your body, love the people you work with, and love your creator. Then you will be fine. You love yourself.
Thank
and
you,
love
May.
yourself.
Katrina?
Yeah, I'm going to use a conjunction here so I can get away with 2 sentences in one.
Okay.
First is, the sentence is, you are human first, and you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For me, I would simply say, you deserve to be well to do well. You deserve to be well to do well.
You deserve to be well to do well. You've wrapped it up nicely for us. A round of applause, please, for our ladies up here. Thank you for pouring and filling up our cups. Thank you for sharing all of this knowledge. And we have heard that knowledge is power. And with good knowledge, we can be well. I'd like to say special thanks to Frytol for this campaign, You Deserve to Be Well, and for this conversation. Thank you all so much. A woman's heart, a woman's love can change this world. She's always there, always in the good times and bad times for her family, her friends, and her loved ones. She puts others first because seeing them well is what matters to her the most. She's trying to be a superwoman. She wants to be, and this can only happen when she is well. So you deserve to be well. Today on International Women's Day and always. So together, let's say this. I deserve to be well.
I deserve to be well.
And to the woman sitting next to you, turn around and tell her, you deserve to be well. And as we wrap up this session, May has said that we all need to exercise and we think we need to travel to the gym to do that. But no, dancing is also a good form of exercise. And we have DJ Austin in the house to help us get some exercise this afternoon. So as we wrap up this session, and as we all get up to go back to our seats up on stage, we're going to ask DJ Austin to give us a very powerful song so that together, for all of us who missed our workout session today, all of us here can get some good exercise. All in favor, say aye. Awesome. DJ Austin, over to you. Give us some music. Let's all get up. All of us. Thank you all so much. Yes, yes, we can.
Call your mommy, make I call my mommy. Where they everybody they should hear what I have to say. My baby, pretty baby. Oh my sexy lady, I can't wait for our wedding. And on that day, happy birthday goes suja. And on that day, happy birthday goes suja. Up in gate, then go up in gate, up in gate, then go up in for you. Up in gate, up in gate, then go up in for you. Sabe, conto mi de, 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 sabe, conto mi de,
Samputuma petre, sampatama zuku, wandana deshe, whatever, marabi, and nobody, wannabe, nobody, and nobody, wannabe, tobody, on togobi, wannabe, togobi, on togobi,
I am wondering how we are allowing such good music to go waste. How can it be International Women's Day and we won't dance? Miss Austin, please, get us dancing again. And we need to dance. And don't go, we'll wrap up very soon.
Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe.
When we're done, we'll wrap up very soon. In another 10 minutes, we will be done, and then you can continue with the jam. I'd like to say thank you to Na Shoko and her panel. It's important that we all know that we deserve to be well. And for those who participated in the competition, these are the winners. Ajimandia Kweku. We also have Prisla Mame Akins. We have Abena Sechiwa Ampoma, and then Moriska Lamte. You're getting... Oh, she's here. You're getting vouchers from Lotus Detox Center, also gifts from Frytol, and then you have discount vouchers from Ghana, Canada Nutrition Center. So congratulations to all of you. We'll quickly move to the next phase of our program, and this is the National Women's Summit Impact Honors presentation. Now, from this year onwards, what the National Women's Summit will be doing is that every year we will fish out for women who are doing great stuff in their communities, you know, helping people here and there, being extraordinary. We will fish them out and reward them. And it's starting this year. And this year, we have 2 of such people to reward. And I will be telling you a little bit about them very soon, but don't go yet. When we're done, we will also do a tour around the pop-up shops around here. So if you're not here, you know what you're really, really missing. So to the Impact Awards, Choose to Challenge Spotlight, we'd like to share some videos with you, and then when we are done, we'll get into it.
My name is Veronica Bequin. I was a laboratory professional throughout my life. I worked with the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, at the Public Health and Reference Laboratory, Kwalibu, for over 40 years. I retired in 2016, and since then I've been home. What inspired the invention of the Veronica bucket was I found a problem in the public laboratory services. The lab people were using bowls of water to wash their hands. To wash your hands properly, you need running water. If you think about it, you have maybe 1 bowl, at best 2 bowls of water, 1 for washing and 1 for rinsing. How often is the water changed? It means the water is okay for the very first person who washes his or her hand, but subsequently, all the other people, are they cleaning their hands or contaminating their hands? So I realized that there was a problem there. And on trying to solve the problem, it just occurred to me that if we fix a tap to any robust container, we could generate running water. So that was how the invention came about. I did this thing in 1993. For a long time, it was limited to the health facilities, and nobody even knew how it came about or who brought it about. I don't think even the ministry was aware that I was the one who invented it. And gradually, the schools adopted it, because you realize that even the schools, they put bowls of water on the verandas for the pupils to wash their hands. So later on, a few schools also started using it. Well, I feel happy that COVID has brought this into the limelight. Because I invented this thing over 30 years ago, and it's been on the quiet. Apart from the health facilities and maybe a few schools, nobody knew about it. But COVID, I can't say thanks to COVID because we are not happy about COVID. But COVID has brought it into the limelight, and I'm happy that it's helping to serve the purpose that for which it was innovated. Whatever a man can do, a woman can do, and sometimes we even do it better. We just have to be bold and come out. You see, most women are even shy to talk in the group where there are men. We should come out of this thing. On this Women's Day, I'm challenging women to come out, especially the young ones. We have done a little bit, and we didn't have the opportunities that we have now. So I'm challenging all the young women out there that they have a lot to offer. Nothing is too small. Whatever you are doing in your small corner, seek a mentor, talk to people. I wish all women out there happy Women's Day. Let's give off our best to support Mother Ghana. Nothing will push us back. We are out there to help, and let's go all out to do just that.
RoboFest all started in the year 2018 when we partook in a competition RISE, which stands for Robotic Inspired Science Education. And Methodist Girls High School emerged the first ever, and we were the first ever girls' school. And for the first time ever in history, 2 teams were selected from one school, making it Acrobat and iBot being selected to represent Ghana for the international competition.
Being the first all-girls team to ever win the national qualifiers for RoboFest 2019, we are very excited to represent Ghana on the international scale.
Before we left for the competition, there was one thing our coach kept on telling us, that is, he won't pay money and go to the US for a vacation. So we made sure we worked very, very hard to his expectations, through sleepless nights, hunger, because sometimes we didn't eat. We stayed here and worked and worked and worked. And also, there got to a point in time where he would come here and tell us to go to bed. But looking at the task ahead of us, we had to stay behind and work very hard.
My name is Jessica Nunu, and I'm the team leader for PAC. We were introduced into the robotics club by our patron. He told us on our first day of admission what the club entails of and the importance of being part of the club. Combining the robotics with academics, it's just the application of what you are being taught in class. The math, the physics, bringing it into practicals. That's it.
Ghanaians are showing a lot of support to us. They've been really supportive, even though they have no or little idea about this robotics mission we are embarking on. But they've been very supportive, and they've been motivating us to put in our all and do more.
Robotics has helped me broaden my mind about engineering, and when I grow up I would like to pursue nuclear physics and engineering. And also I think robotics will really help me because it is now a part of everything we do.
Great, and those will be the recipients of the National Women's Summit Impact Awards. Let me just remind you that the 2020 virtual edition was contested by 5,000 teams. I'm talking about the Robotic Awards. 5,000 teams across the world, and robotic stars from McGill's, who won the preliminary contest in Ghana, emerged again as world winners. And this was they went through 6 competitive stages of the final competition. The World Robotics and Coding Competition was made up of 12 regional groups from Africa, Europe, Asia, North and South America. Please give it up for them. for the award this afternoon, they have a citation from the National Women's Summit 2021, and it reads, Impact Women Honors 2021 Youth in STEM Awards, presented to Methodist Girls High School, Manfe Robotic Club, in recognition of being two-time winners of World Robotic Competition 2019 and 2020, your collective outstanding and indigenous work in coding and robotics made you stand tall amongst your peers from Africa, Europe, Asia, North and South America to win the World Robotic Competition for 2 consecutive years. Your exploits indeed pose a bright future for Ghana's youth as the world moves towards a fully digitized world and serves as an inspiration for your peers. By your exploits, we're confident that Ghanaian youth will continue to spearhead Ghana's digital revolution. As young women, you have made your impact in your world and our world, and this 8th of March 2021, International Women's Day, we celebrate and honor you with the Youth STEM Impact Award. Please give it up for them and come up stage as Mrs. Teresa Ayode presents the citation to you.
Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Who run the world? Girls. 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 Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run the world? Girls. 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 Some of them men think they freak this like we do, but no they don't. Make your check come at the neck. Disrespect us, no they won't. Boy, don't even try to touch this. Boy, this beat is crazy. This is how they made me. Houston, Texas, baby. This goes out to all my girls up in the club, rocking the ladies. Who would buy it for themselves and get more money later? I think I need
Thank you very much, and good morning to our distinguished mothers. We are so happy for receiving this award, and we thank you very much for noticing us and giving us this citation. And it's a huge surprise because we thought we were just coming here for an exhibition, but actually I had to receive an award too. And we say congratulations to every woman out there who's striving to make the world a better place. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
girls. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world?
And as you also heard, the inspiration behind the Veronica bucket, invented some 30 years ago, came about when young Veronica Bekwe then discovered that the cause of various diseases in hospitals and in schools was due to the unavailability of running water to wash hands. The idea was to provide running water with a simple material, and we all know how significant that has become today. She is also the recipient, the big recipient of the Women's Summit Impact Honors today. And her presentation, and her citation reads, Impact Woman Honors 2021, presented to Veronica Bekwe in recognition of your invention of the Veronica bucket. As a laboratory professional, you saw the need to create a simple and easy-to-use hygienic solution for hand washing, which led to the invention of the now widely popular Veronica bucket, utilizing easily available materials, thus making it affordable. Your invention, the Veronica bucket, has served to easily spread the message of hand washing to many rural communities over the past 40 years. And now, with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Veronica bucket has risen to the occasion and indeed become a household name, as it has played a very vital role in the quick and easy rollout of the hand washing COVID-19 protocol. Today, the Veronica bucket and its several offshoots can be found in many homes, offices, streets, and public places. As a woman, you have made your impact in your world and our world, and this 8th of March 2021, International Women's Day, we celebrate and honor you with the Woman Inventor Award. Please give it up for her. We can do better. Thank you very much.
I wish to express my sincere gratitude to Charterhouse and specifically to Mrs. Teresa Ayuade for the honor done me. I never expected this. I'm so grateful, and I want to dedicate this citation to all women out there. Happy Women's Day.
Acknowledge the presence of two Queen Mothers in our midst, Nana Adepa and Ponsa Yeboah the first, and Na Ekuya Omanyeye La. Okay, this name is very difficult, but Ewa. Now, if I know you're around, if I know wave of you. If I know can she be a name about Caseboni a chalk bell jogba, Koni Cafe, Manyamache, oh, Kefami. All right, thank you very much. Now I will like you to stay in your seats. I'm going to go around the pop-up shops around so you know what is here. So when we are done and we say it's a wrap for this afternoon, you can go around and pick whatever you want, pick the cards and make arrangements. So listen up and follow me as we go around the pop-up shops. So first, I am making my way to the Lotus Wellness Corner to find out what's there. Hello, Team Lotus. How are we doing? Great. So what do we have here? What can we get to pick from here this afternoon?
Everyone. I'm Dr. Smita Shetty from Lotus Detox and Wellness Center. So Lotus Detox and Wellness Center is the first detox center in Ghana. So here we have combined Asian traditional medicines and modern technologies to treat any condition and mainly to detoxify yourself.
Like sky.
We have combined therapies like we do assessment. First thing is we do your personalized consultation, and then we do assessment to find out your present health status, your vitals, how are they working, and then according to that, whether you have any toxicities, whether you have any deficiencies, we then plan a program for you, which includes maybe a detox program, a digestive cleanse, pain management, stress management, and weight loss programs. So we have many therapies here, like we have massages, we have PEMF, we have ozone, and also food detox. So this is all about our center. So you all are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So when we're done, don't be in a hurry to go. Come by, make your reservations, and make sure that you're staying well. Thank you very much, Team Lotus.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now follow me. Where do we stop next? Okay, I see the robotics. Sometimes I wonder how these things work. but to have young people in Ghana who continue to compete and win on robotics, you should know that we're getting somewhere. Hello, who is here? Beautiful young woman. So what's happening around here? Are you able to tell us what's happening around here? I don't seem to understand anything here, being honest.
I can clearly say this is a prototype of the quality control section of a factory, where good and bad items are sorted out.
I see.
So first of all, we have this conveyor belt. It has two parts. The bad goods are to go into this section, and then the good goods are supposed to go to that platform.
I see.
When it gets to this platform, the machine here is designed to grab that good and send it over there to the crate.
Okay.
You see, there's another robot right in front of
this one.
It has something like a fork.
Yes.
So it's to come forward and lift the good item and send it to a depot for distribution.
I see.
So that's the whole process here. So it's just a prototype of how a factory can be without human beings working in.
Allow me to be curious a bit. So how do you people come up with all these? What inspires you? What drives you?
In a normal factory, where humans are doing most of the work, you can't say everything done is efficient. So given the opportunity to use machines to do all this work, efficiency will be raised higher, productivity will also go high since machines are also faster. But that doesn't mean humans won't be involved in it at all. Maybe there'll be the need of an inspector to come around, checking everything that goes on here.
But with this, everything is automated.
Yes, please.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Continue to do more. Beautiful. So when I'm sure you will have questions. Okay. Some action is happening right here. Where are the cameras? Capturing it? Great. So what's happening here?
Please, what you have here are prototypes of sumo boards. The boards are programmed to perform the art of sumo. Sumo is actually a Japanese sport, which is played by two heavy-weighted men trying to knock each other out of the ring. So this idea came by we thinking about how some sports in the real world tend to maim their participants and contestants, and even some of them die through their sport. So instead of humans fighting or performing those sports, what if robots were made to perform those sports? The robot here has sensors which help them navigate the ring, and also sense the opponent so that they can knock them out of the ring. At the end of the day, the robot which is able to push the other out of the ring emerges the winner. But sometimes, due to environmental factors, these robots can malfunction.
Okay.
So it depends on how your program is. But sometimes, because of the ways we built it and programmed it, it will work, or other times it won't work.
It won't work.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it is all still in the practice process. If it's not working, gradually you still want to find
you run
ways
and run
by
again
which
to attain perfection.
it will continue to work, and then you attain the perfection.
Yes, please.
Congratulations. Honestly, I think this is an hour. When you finish, when we're done, you should come round and come and see. And probably you have questions. You just might be inspired to want to push your children into a lot more, STEM activities. Thank you very much, McGis. And Frytol, we surely deserve to be well. How are we doing? Frytol, where's the microphone? Team Frytol. Okay, so we will come back to Frytol. The person to speak to us is not here, but just so you know that everything here is wholesome. And so when you're done, grab a Frytol before you go home. Later on, when you go to the market as women, even when we send our boys to the market, make sure you don't just write cooking oil. Write it in capital, Frytol cooking, vegetable cooking oil. It's important. Okay, so we have Miss Frytol here with us. Please bring back the microphone so that we're done. Great. So what's happening here? What should people look out for when they come to your stand? And how wholesome is Frytol? Just tell us a bit about Frytol.
Okay, so Frytol is basically into the wellness segment. And over the years, we are looking at increasing our portfolio. So our iconic brand is the Frytol Pure Vegetable Oil that we all know, which is naturally cholesterol-free because it is palm-based. It is a plant-based oil. So if you paid attention, we had a video from our R&D section, video playing that cholesterol is found in humans, fish, and then meat. But when it comes to the plant-based oils, they do not contain cholesterol. So at Frytol, we provide you nothing but the best. We give you wholesome ingredients, we give you wholesome product. So for Frytol, we have the pure vegetable oil, which is the palm-based. And then we have the sunflower oil. We have also increased our portfolio so that we become present in every household. Every kitchen, Frytol is there. So we have our seasoning. The variants are the chicken, the shrimp, the mixed spices. And then we have everything that you want to use in kitchen. Frytol is there to provide. You should watch out for us because we have come to stay and we'll be present in every kitchen.
Honestly, I didn't know about the Frytol spices. That's a great addition.
Yeah, it's there. Now it tastes good. You can use it for every meal. You can't go wrong with the seasoning.
It doesn't have any other choice than to taste good.
Exactly.
It doesn't, because we have endorsed it and we're going for it. So it doesn't have any other choice. Thank you very much. Please come to the stand, ask more questions, and then make sure that when you get out there, you're getting a lot more Frytol. And to Ghana, Canada Nutrition Center, where we have organic foods as well. Great. Is that our famous chef that we've been talking about?
Yes, this is my chef Brown.
This chef is
my
Yo-Yo.
able chef. He's so good. Yes,
great.
Please. So, remember during the panel discussion, we talked about breakfast in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Exactly. So what I'm going to show you here is very, very simple. We've got your whole wheat bread. We've got 2 boiled eggs.
Okay.
Add groundnut paste to it. That's breakfast number 1. Second breakfast. Take your 2 boiled eggs.
What do you do with it? You just eat it? Or?
You just eat like that. So you've got your carbohydrate, you've got your protein, you're good to go. What chef is blending right now is basically 2 local bananas.
Chef, can you hold on to it so that
yes. So 2 local bananas, natural yogurt, 2 tablespoons of natural yogurt, 2 tablespoons of 2 local bananas, and honey. Then 1 tablespoon of groundnut paste, blended. So while you're here, I'll get you to taste so you can tell us. And then we added a tablespoon of honey. That's it. That's your breakfast. In 3 minutes, you blend it, you're good to go. Wow. Then we have, let's say in the evening, right now, avocado is in season, yes?
It is.
So you've taken your 2 boiled eggs, which you were boiling while you were showering. So you quickly went into shower, you put the eggs on, you boiled it, they're ready to go. You come, you take your avocado, you take your boiled egg. If you have cholesterol issues, take the yolk out. The white part can go with the avocado. Add a little bit of salt and pepper. Mash it. You don't have to blend it. Mash it. Then put it into in a whole wheat bread, and you've got breakfast ready to go. 5 minutes, done. Same thing can apply. We got the avocado here is mashed. He's putting it into the whole wheat bread. Let's say you didn't have time, but on your way, you've got your 2 boiled eggs. You saw a watermelon seller. You saw a banana seller or pawpaw seller. You grab them, you buy that. You've got your carbohydrates, low fat or low calorie, and you've got your protein. You're good to go. Done.
Wow. And you can do all of these
you can do all of
sometimes
this
less than 5 minutes. The blending, for instance, takes less than 5 minutes.
Exactly.
And
those
you're
ones
good to
is
go.
easy. You can add chia seeds. You can, for those who want to be fancy, you can add chia seed. You can add pumpkin seed to it to increase the protein and the fiber content. But very easy, very simple to do. Now, I want to draw attention sometimes to evening, because one of the things that our panelists made a mention was that at the end of the day, when you run around, you didn't get a chance to eat, now you're coming to eat because you're starving.
Yes.
And what we want to do is to show you that, listen, you don't have to load up. Because remember, you're eating to sleep.
So that's when you want to eat all the things you missed out on
because you've
during
missed
the day.
out on eating. So, very, very simple. Let's say you did some grilled chicken or you did some grilled fish. It's sitting in the fridge. When you get in, You have your tomato stew, simple chicken tomato stew, the one you've made and you're using to serve the rice. Take that tomato stew. If you don't have pita bread, you can even use brown bread to do this. And all you do is you take your tomato stew, 2 tablespoons of tomato stew, spread it on pita bread or brown bread. Then take your grilled chicken, dice it, take the bone out, put it on there. Even if you don't have, if you have onions and tomatoes, cut the onions and tomatoes. And you got here, simple, if you can do cheese, you know the sliced cheese. You take 1 slice of cheese, you put it on top. You just made homemade pizza, and it's light. But it will fill you, the fiber in it will fill you, so you feel full, but at the same time, you won't be hungry. Now, if you don't want to add cheese, wrap it up and you've got a wrap. Simple like that. Okay, some of you are like, but that one will not satisfy me. I don't like pizza. So we've got light soup. You can do light soup. Let's say you had your abenkwine or your groundnut soup or your light soup sitting in the fridge. Take it out. If you have garden eggs, cook the garden eggs or cook the okra. Or you can take cabbage and add it to the stew, or the soup, sorry. That increases the bulk and the fiber of the soup. Eat that and go to bed. You've taken in something that's bulky, but it's light because it's lower in calories. And it's healthy and it's simple.
And that's safe for the night.
And, it's good, and you're good to go. Simple.
I see.
Yes, please.
So this is like what? Free masterclass.
Yes. Free. Free advertising.
Masterclass.
Yes, please.
On how to grab breakfast, which is very important because we're told it's like the most important meal of the day.
Very, very, very
and
important.
And then for those of us who are still not listening, because we will still jump into the habit of not eating during the day. You have one meeting to attend or the other. You need to go visit an uncle here, there, and then you come back in the evening, you feel like, oh, today I didn't eat rice, and that's when you want to eat your rice or eat your yam. You've been told what you can eat for that evening and go to bed. So please, when we are done, make sure you come around here, ask more questions, and what I took was really very tasty. Unfortunately, I'm not a sweet tooth.
That's okay. For the wache lovers in the room, I know there are wache lovers in the room.
I'm not a sweet tooth, so things that are sugary, I find it very difficult to take.
No
but
problem.
it's very nice. So come around, ask questions, and make sure that you're staying healthy because you deserve to be well. And that's the organic shop?
Yes.
Great.
Yes. So here we have all your, I'll let Selassie, he's my able assistant. Selassie, you take over.
Okay, thank you very much. So here, we don't only offer counseling services for health benefits, but also we sell the food. So we have healthy breakfast, we have teas, that's the green tea, the cinnamon teas, the ginger teas. We have cocoa mix, so for your cocoa in the morning. We have oats, we have granola, we have tiger nut powders, we have date powders, we have coconut chips, we have the seeds, we have the milks, we have the almond, we have coconut, we have soy. Then we have the honey. Yeah, we have honey, we have syrups. We also have your cider vinegar. So then fonio, which is a very ancient cereal. We also have millet powder. Then we have soy chunks for vegetarians, and we have the spices, the healthy ones, no additives, no preservatives. Then we have lentils, we have Bulgarian wheat rice, yes. Then we have chickpeas and all you need just to be healthy. Yes, so thank you.
Great. So everything you need to be healthy is here. Make sure you get there before you leave. We're wrapping up now. I have my own big sister, Ekuma Mamazimbi, and the focus ladies in the house. Hello. I also have Gaba and the reps in the house. Hello to all of you as well. We are wrapping up in a bit. I just need 2 people. Please pass the microphone on. Just put your hand up. I want to find out what you choose to challenge before we leave here. Just 2 people to tell us what they choose to challenge before we leave here. 30 seconds each. Can I get a hand up? What do you choose to challenge? You can't come here and leave and not choose to challenge anything. Otherwise, I will call. Great, I have a hand up. That's a hand up. What do you choose to challenge?
I choose to challenge to learn every day, at least 30 minutes every day.
Great.
Thank you.
And you pledge to be well because you deserve to be well, right?
Yes, exactly.
Great. Another one, what do you choose to challenge? The last person, what do you choose to challenge? We have a hand up. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to everyone here. I've got to learn a lot today by the woman sitting on the platform saying, we are not just there to eat everything. We are there as a human being. You can eat everything, but we should know the type of food that we are eating that will be very beneficial to our body as a whole. It says to worship, to have a society of love, and then to take care of the body. And the body is always says it's like temple of the Lord. You feed it as if you are in front of God. So I've learned a lot. And my grandmother, my mother, Madam Veronica Bekwai has said a lot. I'm really proud to see her today. I've met her. I didn't know she was the one who invented initially Veronica Bucket, which is very impressive. She says, now women, we are not to back off. We are to be very brave and come out and stand out for our rights. So I've learned a lot today, which have made me a whole person again.
Great. And that is the essence of the National Women's Summit. We will do more throughout the year and even next year. So look out for the National Women's Summit. I'm sure Teresa has a lot in store throughout the year. Bits and pieces of things here and there, just so you don't think that when we talk about women, it's not limited to 8th March. It's not. We're women for as long as we live. And it's important that you realize that you deserve to be well. And make sure that every single day of your life, you choose to challenge. I still tag along with Teresa. I choose to challenge no. Don't let anybody tell you it is not possible. For as long as you are willing, there will always be a way. Thank you all very much for coming out today. For those of you who have joined us on radio, joined us online, we say thank you, Aiko. We hope that it's been worth your while. Stay true to yourselves and remember always that you deserve to be well. We also want to thank God for making this day possible. I'm sure as of yesterday, Teresa was still wondering, how is today going to look like? The run around, the fatigue and everything. But God has been merciful. He has been gracious unto us. And today has happened. We're happy and we're grateful unto Him. When you move out of here, drive safe, keep safe, still continue to observe the protocols and ensure that you are always safe. My name is Edem Naite, Programs Manager, Joy FM. I also host Home Affairs on Joy FM every Saturday morning. We talk about women, family, children, everything in between. You always want to join us. Thank you, God bless you, and happy International Women's Day to all of you.
For a woman, giving comes naturally.
I gave life to this child, and even though it had a toll on me, I can't wait to have another. Children are a blessing.
Work takes most of my time, but I always make it a point to support my parents and my siblings when they need me. I give them all the love that they deserve.
All the hard work I put in daily, from dawn to dusk, is just to provide for my family. I want to give them the good future they deserve.
Family is everything.
My family makes life worth living.
I will do anything for my family.
But sometimes I lose myself in the process.
I pour out so much love and service for others.
It leaves me drained, with no regard for my own well-being.
But should giving care and love to family deprive a woman of her wellness? Frytol presents You Deserve to Be Well.
Please feel free to visit the stands. Visit all the stands. Feel free to visit all the stands before you leave. Thank you very much.